XL Primetime, thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota on a Tuesday. We got lots to get into. Hirings, I don't know. Firings, yeah, I do know. We got all sorts of things from the association to get into, but we definitely got some football for you. And your Jaguars, it's worth a discussion because we've seen the schedule come out. We're trying to predict where this football team's going to go. How deep are they going to go into the postseason? Wins, so many more wins than L's compared to seasons past. But let's take a look at the rest of the AFC South and take a look at their opportunities when it comes to that schedule as well. And then also Doug Peterson. Dougie Fresh came in here, came into Duval, fresh to approach, and turned this franchise around. Where does he rank among AFC coaches? We will definitely get into that today. I look over to the right, I see Big Sirs. So all the camera shots are full. 1010XL on YouTube. Big Sirs, give him a big old wave because you are back. You are back.
I am.
Yeah.
Good to be back. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Saddled up, ready to ride.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Ready to go?
They're ready to go.
Now, we talked rookie minicamp yesterday, and some of the guys that impressed us, at least what we saw. Again, no pads, not real competition. Everything's against air, but we will get your take on it. I don't know how much did you check any of it out on social media?
I watched some of it. I watched some. I mean, listen, I call them pajamas because you're not in the past with everything like it. But I was looking for effort. And there was a lot of energy, a lot of effort out there. I watched a lot of the interviews out there, the interviews that were done by 1010 or whatever, just to get a kind of feed for, what kind of kid we got. I call him kid because I could be the daddy, most of them out there. I could be the father. But just see what kind of kid we got. And overwhelmingly, we've got some good kids. We got some good players on the team. We got good personalities, excited about football. And you need that kind of stuff on your team. Although it's early and it's rookie camp, you can't really decipher how well they're going to play when it comes to the games in September, but it was good to see effort, energy by our class season. And I'm gonna tell you something, and I dealt with it too. When you're in a class and you're in a group of guys, it's kind of like your freshman year. It's like your freshman orientation. Everybody that comes to your class, you want them to have success.
Yeah.
You absolutely want to have success because I'm gonna tell you, 10, 20 years from now, you'll be like, man, you'll reflect upon that camp or that OTA or all that kind of stuff. Great memories.
Yeah, brothers in arms in a lot of ways. I don't know how many of these guys are going to make the team. I have no idea how many of them are going to make the team. There's a lot of them that were drafted.
And one short little thing I say, to this day, LaVon Kirkland, who's my buddy, thinks he should have went first round.
Yeah.
Because, and
Instead
not me.
of you.
Instead of me. To this day, he said, I was probably the better player, and I should have won the first. I said,
He just likes to gig you.
I said, stay in your lane, second round.
Yeah, second round. That should have been his nickname, Leon, right from the jump.
Oh, yeah.
You just call him two.
Yeah, I call him second round all the time.
That should have been his nickname right from the jump. All right, but how many of these guys make the team, honestly? And we'll go through it and have a little bit of fun with it. It's way, way too early. And you don't even have to name the individuals, but just percentage-wise, how many guys make this team when we're talking about putting the 53 together for the start of the season?
I mean, let's look at it this way. When they signed Jacob Harris yesterday, the former Rams fourth-rounder out of UCF, I mean, signing him, they were already at 90 men on the roster. And then they add our boy out of Arkansas, or out of Georgia by way of Arkansas, Tavius Brini, the safety. They only cut one defensive lineman. So, I mean, the numbers game is absolutely real. And when you look at this roster from 1 to 90, sure, 82 through 90, you may not be as familiar with unless you're really in the weeds. But 1 through 82, you're very familiar with. And I think that is what Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson were striving to create when they arrived here, when it was just obviously a barren wasteland, especially in that bottom half, let alone bottom third of the roster.
Well, here's a classic illustration of that. Kevin Austin and Giles Harris are trying to turn heads again by coming out for the rookie minicamp because they've already been on this team before, and they're just trying to turn heads in any way, shape, or form. Go back, rewind the clock, they're playing for playing time. They really are. That is how different the roster seems to be. I don't know whether that's 100% right now, but that's what it seems to be.
Well, I mean, a lot of these, I'm not going to call them lower tier, but a lot of these guys that have been comfortable on the practice squad and on the bottom of the roster should be concerned. I mean, because they've been comfortable the last year or two or whatever, and there could be eviction notices coming. You've been in a nice house the last year or two, practice squad, the bottom half of the roster, and you're bringing a bunch of new guys who are hungry, excited about being in the NFL, you know, there could be some eviction notices coming in July if they don't get this stuff together.
All right, I think that's a perfect way to transition. Speaking of eviction notices, let's hit it. A little of that.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Philadelphia 76ers have officially parted ways with head coach Doc Rivers, according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. The Sixers' search for a new coach expected to include now departed Bucks coach Mike Budenholzer, now former Raptors coach Nick Nurse, Sam Cassell, Mike D'Antoni, Frank Vogel, and now no longer the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, Monty Williams. So a lot of retreads that could end up succeeding another retread in Doc Rivers.
Yeah, you forgot to mention Frank Vogel. That's stellar.
That's also shout out to my Lakers homies at the table. But,
Sam Cassell, one of the shiniest heads of all time.
He's got a beautiful.
I still can't believe he's actually coach. But that's
come
I
home,
didn't know
Sam.
he was.
Come home. No. I think, and I also would like to note that I already have some of my Magic friends who were texting me last night before Doc Rivers had officially been, fired by the Philadelphia 76ers, which many of us expected them to part ways, saying, could the reunion with the Orlando Magic be impending? Not that we're calling for anybody's job down there in the Big O, and they're trusting their own process right now.
I was joking
but
with
wouldn't
you.
that be a true circle of life?
Well, yeah, I was joking with you all before the Celtics moved on past the Sixers, and before the rookie coach up in Boston was was kind of getting, he was getting an education, let's just say, in Game 5. And Doc was looking across the way going, I'll take your spot, I'll take your spot, I'll take your spot. And so, Boston, Orlando, I'm sure he's got some of those things running through his brain, like, where am I going to go? When he left the Clippers and he went to the Sixers, he fixed a lot of things, but he obviously didn't get the job done.
We should ask our consummate Orlando fan what he thinks about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he's probably
That's
listening.
true. Where is he?
The hacker.
He'll go,
process, man.
I mean, Doc was in Orlando for a long time.
Right.
Oh, he was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I'm not calling for Mosley's job.
Totally say that.
But I do think, JJ, especially knowing that tonight, the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Is that tonight?
That is tonight
Oh, my
at 7
God.
o'clock. That's the lead, or 8 o'clock, excuse me. That's the lead-in to Lakers and Nuggets at 8:30. So game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. I've seen a lot of Magic fans. Maybe we should call in our old buddy who appears here nightly on Hacker After Dark, because there's some people who not only are suggesting Doc Rivers to the Magic at some point. What happens if the Magic somehow, some way, lightning strikes twice, just like it did in the 90s with Shaq and Penny, and they're to pick number 1 overall again this year?
They have the sixth best odds to win it, but the first 3 all have the same odds.
Yeah.
That's how they tried to prevent tanking.
Oh,
so they're like, hey, the first team doesn't have the best odds. Now the 3 worst teams have the best odds. Yeah. So definitely don't tank, guys. And I think that hasn't worked.
Yeah, the classic is that, wait a minute, I know they're tanking, so I'm tanking.
Yes.
And so that's basically how it went. Now,
it's 3 teams now have the chance to get it if they tank.
So those 3 teams,
if you're a betting man, you take the odds that one of those 3 teams get it? I would.
I would. I mean, the Magic weren't one of those 3 teams. I think they were the 4th or the 5th last year, and they obviously ended up with the number 1 overall pick and surprised everybody by taking Paolo Banchero. And obviously it was the right pick because he was the Rookie of the Year. Yeah. Here are those teams with their odds to win the number 1 overall pick tonight. The Pistons at 14%. The Rockets, also with a new coach by the name of Udaka. Excuse me. Udoka, excuse me. Former Boston Celtics coach. 14% chance. Wouldn't that be fun for the city of Houston?
Udoka walks right in and gets the number 1.
You get Ime Udoka, and then you get Wembanyama immediately thereafter. That would be fun.
A lot of vowels in our world anymore,
I know, right? And JJ's just sitting over there rolling his eyes at me butchering more names.
No,
in the
actually, Wembanyama is one that I don't even know his first name yet.
Victor.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
nice and easy.
Easy. That's
nice
what
and
you
easy.
call it.
Yeah, nice
Vic.
and easy.
Big Vic.
Big Vic. I like that, actually. Maybe we should make that
That's
a
my
thing.
neighbor.
I know.
Next team you're about to say,
I know.
I'm cheering hard against them getting Victor Wembanyama.
You don't want the San Antonio Spurs
Absolutely
to get him.
not.
Why is
because
that?
Then that would just continue the dynasty.
Yeah.
I mean, going from basically my entire adult life and as a kid, they've only taken a few years off. I guess the last 3 or 4 years they've been in the dumps, but man, they just were winning from 98 on the entire time. And if they get this guy, I don't think that's going to stop.
Is this Duncan Ness? This guy.
This guy's like
This guy's
6
better than Duncan.
or 7.
He can
what,
better than the big fundamental.
He's
I
the
don't
big
know.
fundamental and
No,
LeBron
no,
allegedly
no.
together.
I
from
would
what they
never
keep
say
saying.
anyone's going to be better than Duncan.
Yeah, it's very, very tough
But
to say
this
that.
guy's like 7'6"
Can
and he
run.
shoots threes. He's
But here's
crazy.
what I always think of when these guys, and he's kind of a spindly lad, okay? Is do you hold up obviously against more physical play? European game, a little cleaner
I
game.
was about to say he's French, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
a little cleaner game, and do you
suspect.
hold up?
Suspect.
And look, that classic
I
line.
know, classic.
I'd rather have the German
Yeah,
army
but
in front of me than the French army behind me.
All the foreigners run the NBA
True.
now.
Yeah. So
it's only fitting.
those guys, they do. But I just wonder, health-wise, we have seen it happen far too often with some of these big guys that the bones just creak a little bit more for that 7.5-footer, and he's going to get banged around.
Banging of the bodies, man. I mean, the elbows to the back and to the side, the post-up game. I mean, how's his post-up game? I mean,
I'm not
Wembanyama?
sure. Every highlight I see, he's like drilling threes from deep, but he's 7'5" in shoes, 7'3" without shoes.
Okay.
They say.
And the other thing is you think about the Embiids of the world, the ADs of the world, they want to step away from the basket more often than not. This guy starts getting knocked around inside, he's going to do the exact same thing.
He was
He's
born
gonna wanna get
January
outside.
2004.
yeah.
Wow.
The depth of the big man.
Absurd.
No more post-game. No post-game.
But he's 7'2", Leon.
Yeah, he's 7'2". He's supposed to be in the paint. Now he's outside shooting threes. He's got meat. He's got,
I mean, you've got guys that win National Player of the Year in college, and then they come back for an extra year, whether it's Oscar Tshiebwe, Luka Garza. They come back for that extra year solely because the NBA tells them, yeah, you're not going to play in our league. You have to learn how to shoot the three.
This guy wasn't born to see a Miami national title, Leon.
I told JJ this
Yeah,
the
that's
other
true, bro.
day. Yeah,
That's a hell of a thing,
That's
isn't it?
that's a saucy nug,
that
JJ.
is. That's
Play
terrible.
that.
That is
I did
It's a sad, very sad, saucy nug.
Saucy nugs.
I did tell JJ the other
Makes your eyes
day.
water.
I watched a tremendous profile ESPN did on Victor Wembanyama, and apparently he learned how to shoot the three by watching Pistol Pete Maravich. There you go, text line brought to you by
Some
Lifetime
old school.
Enclosures. That's complaining about us talking about the association. There's your old school. Watching instructional Pistol Pete Maravich
Really?
tapes.
That's
and that's how he
interesting.
learned how to shoot the three.
That's good. That's old school there.
Yep.
Because
Is he going to shoot free throws
oh
underhanded?
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
Pistol
I
Pete
was
do
just
that?
going to ask that. I hope not.
Tuck
Please.
the elbow in. That's all you need. Tuck the elbow in.
Is
All
the
right, so-
ball like a yo-yo in his hand like Pistol Pete?
yeah. I don't know whether he could do that. These guys, they palm it more than they do yo-yo it. That's for sure.
Oh, Rick Barry, sorry, did the underhander for
Yeah, he was the underhand guy.
Yeah.
All right. So you got those guys that are sitting out there, and it kind of got us to thinking about coaches because now these are good coaches, all right? Doc Rivers has a resume. Nick Nurse has a resume. We can go to Monty. We can go to the other guys that have been bounced. And
I mean, that list that I read off from Woj.
yeah.
How many of those guys have won NBA titles? Multiple.
yeah, at least three of them.
Budenholzer with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Nurse with the Raptors. Vogel was the coach of the Lakers when they won the bubble, right?
Yeah, I guess
Correct.
he gets credit.
Yeah, you get credit.
Did Mike D'Antoni ever win anything?
No.
Okay,
he
well,
But he
He was with the-
is a great offensive mind.
Yeah.
right.
And-
Monty won
and
as
won
an
a lot of
assistant,
games with the Suns, of course.
Up and down the floor.
which
That's who he
I
is.
did
And
realize.
he's Harden's guy. So, like,
And
Right.
Nurse won.
if they bring him in, it's because Daryl Morey loves, Harden, and Harden loves that coach. So.
Also, if I could go on a brief tangent, we talked so much last week about Matt Ishbia, the new owner of the Suns, and his confrontation with Nikola Jokic on the sideline in what was that, Game 5, JJ?
Sounds about right.
For him to say that he is taking his time and learning to be an owner, and then he suddenly parts ways with Monty Williams, who's beloved by the players in that Suns locker room. That says one of two things for me. Number one, and I read this report this morning, Ishbia, of course, a Michigan native, has been spending too much time with Isaiah Williams, who, not Isaiah Williams, Isaiah Thomas, excuse me, who obviously, great role model in running an organization. Just ask Knicks fans.
Terrible.
But secondly, did Kevin Durant say, I need a buddy of mine, Leon? Do I need my friend to be my head coach again?
He wouldn't be the first.
And where are we going? Because how many times has your boy LeBron done
He
it?
would not be the first to do it.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie did it
Yeah.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
Yeah, it did not go well. Yeah, and look, I don't know what's going to happen. The length of time that he's going to be there, he and Devin Booker, are they going to be the new duo out there? He seems like Kevin Durant, I'm talking about, seems like he wants to commit to what it takes. But think about what has happened this offseason. Embiid, as an MVP, is looking around for answers. Durant dealt during the season, and they come up well short of where they thought they might be able to go. There are guys looking around like they're being humbled big time. Harden's being humbled big time. You know, Harden's got an option right now. His option, not the team's option. He can stay or go in Philadelphia.
How much?
It's 35, 36.
Is that it?
Yeah, it was smaller than I thought it would be.
I thought you were going to say like 50.
No, I'm pretty sure. I need to
Me
look this up.
too.
I'm pretty sure it was like in that 36.
Oh, yeah, he's 35.6 next
Yeah,
year.
right there in that 36 range. So, anyway, that's where we are. If you NBA fans want to jump in on that, jump in. 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. But now let's transfer it to the coaching rankings in the National Football League, and in particular, the AFC. All right? We're talking about these great coaches. They have titles. Doug Peterson's got a Super Bowl title. He brought this team back from virtual anonymity a season ago and also ran a field horse, a forgotten team, and he put them back in the postseason, and here we are. Where does Doug Peterson rank among the AFC coaches in 2023? Where does he rank? Well, now, you can put together a little mini list if you want, Leon, and get us started.
Well, listen, I pulled up this, and there's tiers. There's tier ones, tier twos, threes as far as coaches go in the AFC. So the tier one coaches, you could I bet you, I guarantee you can give me at least 3 out of the 4. There's 4 coaches in the tier one.
Andy Reid,
Andy Reid, absolutely. Tomlin, that was a good one. Good one. Tomlin.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. You got to put the GOAT up there. Bill Belichick. Yeah. And there's one more.
At least for now, he is.
There's one more coach.
How could you not? He's got to be number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is number 1, actually. He's number 1.
The last one.
You still think he's number 1, though?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think Andy Reid's ascended.
6 championships, bro.
I don't know how you.
Yeah,
you got to do that on.
Come on, bro.
It's been a while.
Own, man.
It's been a
Yeah,
while.
I don't care.
It's been a
6
while.
championships.
It's been at least 3 years.
Exactly. 3 years was wild.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Belichick has not won one, and that was Brady. Brady didn't win one.
2019.
with Belichick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so
Okay.
2019.
All right,
in.
the
The year
last tier.
before he
Brady,
left,
not
or 2 years
Belichick.
before he left.
So in the tier ones, there's
I'm saying
Harbaugh.
Andy
Harbaugh,
Reid
there
is
you go.
number 1 right now.
Harbaugh, Tomlin,
okay to say it's
Andy
all-
Reid,
all
and Bill
Brady, not
Belichick. They're in your
Belichick.
tier
I'm not saying
ones.
that.
Oh, we got too many
In the AFC.
conversations going on. Hang on.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Do that again.
Okay. Belichick, Andy Reid, Tomlin, and Harbaugh are your tier 1 coaches in the AFC.
Harbaugh has a Lombardi.
No problem. The guy, Lombardi. Got to have a Lombardi.
But he's a little further removed from Doug's Lombardi.
Doug,
and-
I was going to say, Dougie's got Lombardi too, right?
A lot sooner, yeah.
Multiple Super Bowl appearances, you
Yeah.
could say.
Yeah,
with
Super
those.
Bowl
Was
appearances.
Harbaugh wasn't the coach when the Ravens
His brother
won.
went
No,
to a
but
Super Bowl.
he won one and coached against his brother.
Right, that was
Yeah.
in 2013, but
Yeah.
he wasn't the coach when they won the Super
No.
Bowl in 2000.
That was
so
Bill.
only,
No,
only
no,
one.
yeah,
So
Brian
only
Billick.
one.
That was
for
Brian
Harbaugh.
Billick.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he has one. But if Doug's more recent as far as the Lombardi goes, now there are probably plenty more playoff seasons that Harbaugh has. I'll have to look those up, but plenty more playoff seasons.
So-
Next group.
So your tier 2 coaches, Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills, Mike Vrabel, Zach Taylor, Frank Reich, and Dougie Fresh.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich
the
is in there.
fired
He
one,
is.
in that group. He's only been a head coach a total of how many years? I think 4 or 5 years total. 4 years total. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to look at the playoff record for.
Well, John
Johnny
Harbaugh's
Harbaugh.
11-9.
Okay.
That's
And-
a lot of playoff games.
Yep. Oh yeah, and hey, there was a while there that if they made it, they were either starting the divisional round or making it to the divisional round. They were one of the Patriot killers. They could go on the road. Not too many people could go into Foxborough and win big football games. That's for sure.
Unfortunately, since that Super Bowl in 2012, they have not even been to an AFC title game.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of average.
And look, that was the big turnover, okay, because you had to go from what was a Flacco-led team, made him the highest-paid guy at the quarterback position, and then everything just kind of, whatever, a little bit of decline defensively. Ray Lewis exits the building. All of these other superstars exit the building, and it wasn't the same team.
They've only won 2 playoff games in 10-plus years, like 11 years.
That's something. I don't know that I would have him in that top tier.
Exactly.
I will
think
say
right
this. I mean, I've talked to many personnel people, and they've all said the coaches that win playoff games are the elite coaches in the NFL. Winning playoff games is a big deal. So
nobody remembers your 14 and 2 in 2019 when you lose to the Titans in the division.
No one remembers teams that go 10 and 6 and they're out in the first round. You remember the coaches.
There's a reason the Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
there's a reason the Andy Dalton Bengals are long forgotten.
Yeah, it's just that's why Jim Harbaugh is in such demand from the NFL because he wins playoff games.
Yeah, it's very true. And as good as Marvin Lewis was,
NFC Championship, Super Bowl, NFC Championship, 3 straight years.
Yeah, they were very productive. And Marvin Lewis won a ton of games up in Cincinnati. Could not win a playoff game.
That's why they got rid of him. No, and it's the same thing as you look at the San Francisco 49ers quarterback situation. They won a ton of games. They went to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, but would he be the one to take them over the top? And that's exactly the question that the Cincinnati Bengals were faced with after that Marvin Lewis-Andy Dalton run. They gambled on it. They kind of trotted in mediocrity for a couple of years, and now they've come out on the other side with Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow. As much as we talk about Belichick and Brady, and I don't want to upset if any of the Taylor family is listening right now since we know they have ties here in Duval County, I do wonder with that one how much of that is Zach Taylor versus having Joe Burrow and everything that Joe Burrow does for that offense.
Yeah. Well, you want to hit 2 or 3?
Yeah, okay, because
it's 4 tiers.
Yeah.
It's 4 tiers.
Okay.
The tier 3 is Kevin Stefanski, Brandon Staley, Robert Saleh.
Hang on, no playoff wins.
Yeah, Robert Saleh and Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, Saleh just got a hell of a lot better, I can tell you that.
And then the bottom
Where's
of the
Sean Payton?
The bottom of the barrel. Well, the bottom of the barrel is Lovie Smith,
who's no longer the coach of the Texans.
Yeah.
So this is from last. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels. And this is
from last year.
Yeah, well, this is this last year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm just curious because Sean Payton obviously is hard.
Yeah, because I would think you would put Sean at least in the tier 2.
That second tier.
At least second tier. Yeah,
he's got to prove that he can get it done with the Denver Broncos. Save Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Throw him that life preserver. Pull him back up on top of Mile High instead of being down there in the valley. So, all right, so start thinking about it. AFC coaches rankings, where would you put Dougie Fresh? Put an argument together for it. We'll put a Twitter poll out there and have a little fun with it. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show. BeaverChevrolet.com, BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com, and then right there on the lot, we're talking dozens of great rides, SUVs, pickups, beautiful sedans, economy cars, whatever you are shopping for price point-wise, brand new or pre-owned. We will be telling you about them all day today.
And our boy Jimmy Shapiro also had a fun results Twitter analysis, if you may, from yesterday. Which NFL coach is most respected online? Who is the most liked NFL coach according to Twitter? That one looks a little bit different than Leon's tiers.
And it was interesting the way it was put together because it's activity, too. Now, this is a smaller fan base compared to some of the other ones.
Yes.
But
depending on how universally known your coach is, that could also affect exactly where they fall in that ranking. So we'll get to that ranking.
Yep, it's XL Primetime. Beautiful Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with us.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. The radio station built in Jacksonville for Jacksonville. 1010XL.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville, provides tax relief for all personal payroll and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Mia here, and if you like going to the casino, you are going to love the revamped online casino at MyBookie. They have a live casino option where you play blackjack with a real person, just like you're sitting at a table in Las Vegas. Roulette, same thing. The live casino option puts you on a table with a live person spinning the roulette wheel, just like at the casino. If you haven't checked out this new option, go to mybookie.ag now and see what I'm talking about. I've been playing all last week, and it is awesome. The slot machine options as well. Of course, you get a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. That's promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a sweet deposit bonus. Sign up today at MyBookie and check out their revamped online casino. Take it from me. Go check out that live casino tab for blackjack, roulette, and so much more. That's promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a bonus. Play anytime, anywhere with the MyBookie Casino.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatments of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at barryorthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
You will love your new custom windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, special financing is available. You'll enjoy the beauty and quality that only Renewal by Anderson offers. This offer expires May 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Bueller. Look, folks, I've been hearing it my whole life. But the truth is, there's never been a better time to stay cooler with Bueller. Right now, we can send a qualified Bueller technician to perform a thorough tune-up and cleaning of your AC system for just $119. We'll even include up to 1 pound of refrigerant to balance your system for peak cooling performance this summer. Now that's staying cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller. Played fantasy golf during the PGA Championship against 1010XL personalities and golf fans around the First Coast. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors and MyBookie. You could win a $100 barbecue feast from Woody's Barbecue. Enter at 1010XL.com.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial, we're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
As anticipated, you Nooners have come to Doug Peterson's defense with regards to this tier ranking of AFC coaches, 33-64. There is no AFC coach that can outcoach Doug P. except maybe Andy Reid. They are 1A and 1B. You do know Bill Belichick is still a coach in the National Football League. Do you, 33-64?
Yeah.
That's with all due respect to Dougie P, too,
right.
by the way.
As it has been pointed out, Tommy, 3 years removed from a title. Bill, even further removed. So the hoodie losing a little bit of his grip on that top spot. And then when he walks away, he'll be the top dog until somebody has more Lombardis than he does. But I think it's pretty easy to figure out. Good coach plus good players make a really good team. And that's what Doug's got right now. That's certainly what Andy Reid has right now.
XL Primetime on a Tuesday rolling on. We will accept all of your thoughts on this tier ranking that Leon just gave us in the first segment at 641-1010. That is the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Me, O'Brien, Joe C., Matt Hayes, JJ LaSelva. You can also check us out on our 1010XL live cam by hopping on over to our YouTube page, where you can also interact with us at the We haven't done this drop in a while. Let's hit it, JJ. What do we like to call our friends on YouTube?
This is the Yahoo pop-off chat line. Yahoo!
You can leave us a comment there as well. I teased it heading into the break. We also saw yesterday, courtesy of our good buddy Jimmy Shapiro, the ranking of most liked coaches in the NFL according to Twitter. Now, how they broke this down, coach, team, number of tweets about said coach this past year, and the positive online sentiment score. Any guesses who the most liked coach in the NFL is according to Twitter?
I guess I would go right back to the guy who would like to eat a cheeseburger right next to you, and Andy Reid. That would be my guess.
Matt, Leon, JJ?
Andy Reid.
Mike Tomlin.
Coach.
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mike Tomlin, most likely. I'm pretty sure most of these coaches do not want to be on this list, but let me go guess anyway. I'm gonna say McDaniels. I'm gonna say the coach
that
from
was
the
my second
the Dolphins. He looks
trippy.
I'm going to say Shanahan.
Shanahan.
That's a good one.
Good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, all three of those votes, Tomlin, Shanahan, and McDaniel, are middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm. Is Reid up top?
Reid is third.
I thought I had the cheeseburger man right there with me.
That's a good guess, Joe. I've never seen anyone say anything negative about Andy Reid online.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll is also middle of the pack. I think he clocks
really?
in. That looks like 11th or 12th.
Chewing gum, high-fiving, all that stuff, you know.
So
60,
fun.
Yeah, 68.
Now again, you have to also bear in mind that, for example, there were 179,037 tweets about Bill Belichick last year.
Mm-hmm.
There were 43,805 tweets about Mike Vrabel. So keep in mind that not every coach had quite as many votes. And again, this is the percentage of positive online sentiment score.
Yeah, and so that means, I'm just guessing, it still has to be a winner.
Mm-hmm.
You would assume, and so those are teams that are. Does Sirianni get a lot of love? He's a Johnny-come-lately, but
so that's sixth. He is sixth on this list.
Let
me get a little music here, JJ.
Pete Carroll?
Mm-hmm.
Nope,
yeah,
Pete Carroll. We said he's like 11th on this list.
Yeah, he's in the middle. So you got to think of lovable guys that win.
Since when did coaches want to be lovable? This is the new era. My bad.
Surprisingly, Frank Reich, and maybe this is because
All right,
when
how about
he
Brian
moved to
Dable
Carolina,
when he comes rolling in with his big pickup truck up in New York?
Dable is...
Just trying to think of guys.
Fourth. Brian Dable is fourth. Zach Taylor is seventh. So you're in the ballpark.
McDermott, we're just going to name the winners.
McDermott is fifth.
Yeah, okay.
So you've gotten 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Urban. Why did I not think of this sooner?
Of course.
Urban is not.
Oh, damn it. He certainly got the most traction.
I'll give you the bottom 3. Are you ready for that? Actually, we'll give you the bottom 5.
Oh,
so
I want to guess the bottom.
You want to guess the bottom before you guess who's the most liked coach?
What's his name for the Cowboys?
Yep, bingo. You can give yourself a ding for that.
Very good.
That is so that would be 29th. Is more Mike McCarthy, the 29th.
Oh, he's not dead last.
No, he is not dead last. The dead last coach has been dismissed from his now former club, and that would be Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, I was going to say Kingsbury.
The internet hates Cliff, of course.
The internet hates Cliff. Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles at 31, most liked coach according to Twitter.
Todd Bowles, not popular.
Another guy who has since been dismissed, Nathaniel Hackett.
Nate did not have a whole lot of support
First
behind
off,
him.
the fact that we're saying according to Twitter in and of itself.
Oh, I know.
Well,
I know.
it's you know,
but it's that activity.
You're looking at how many tweets were sent about about these coaches, and then the percentage that were positive versus negative.
And it speaks to fan base, and it speaks to whether or not they love their
And here's the
their
thing
guy
about Cliff. The NFL Twitter people really don't like a college guy.
Yeah. All right,
coming
what about
in here and, you didn't even accomplish anything in college? What are
you
you
were
gonna
a
do in the
loser
NFL?
before we got you. What about Ronnie Rivera?
Ronnie Rivera
that's
is
solid.
He is about 10th from the bottom.
Is he really?
Oh, higher than I expected.
And he actually, I think,
he probably appreciates that.
He
too.
actually third most, excuse me. Mike McDaniel is actually the most tweeted about coach. Third
It's
most
just 'cause he's
tweeted
such an
about
odd
coach
professor.
is Riverboat Ron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Shanahan,
Where's Sirianni? Did you say where
we said Sirianni's sixth. He's sixth according to Twitter.
Where's Kyle on this?
Shanahan?
Yeah.
He's in the middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack?
So we just can't guess number one.
McVay.
McVay is also middle of the pack. He comes in about like
Zach
13.
Taylor. Where's Zach Taylor at?
Zach Taylor is 7th.
Okay, 7.
By the way, Cliff Kingsbury, 8% of the tweets about him were positive last
That's pretty
year.
low approval rate.
That's straight Philly, though. Let's be real.
And Harbaugh's where?
Harbaugh was 5th from the bottom, actually. We didn't hit that. So John Harbaugh, 11.3% positive online
Well,
sentiment
that's because they were
score.
bagging on him for
Right, exactly.
Lamar not getting a contract.
Oh, I know who number one is.
Twitter
The dude
loves
at the Lions.
Yeah.
What?
Danny Campbell?
Dan
Kneecap
Campbell.
biting?
Dan Campbell is number 2.
Number 2.
You're getting closer.
All right, so Chi-Town, I don't think Everflus would win anything. I can't imagine. Matt LaFleur.
Everflus is just a long name to type out on Twitter.
Is
Smith
who's our
from the
dude?
Falcons? Where's he?
Kevin.
Everflus was actually 8th, so that's
is?
another one.
Where's Mike Tomlin?
Mike
I
Tomlin
already
is
said
middle
that.
of the
Oh, you said
pack,
middle
like
of the
dead
pack?
center.
Oh, God.
16.3.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, the number one most liked coach according to Twitter, 26.2% positive online sentiment score.
So that's funny that the number one most liked coach only has a quarter of the tweets
Yeah,
are
isn't that
liking
true?
him.
Right.
And it really does. It speaks volumes to, fans are crazy. First off, fanatical in their approach, and most of them are, not happy all the time. Most of them are probably a little ticked off because they want to win them all, right? That's just the way
It's
it
not
should go.
Dennis Allen, is it?
Is it Doug Peterson?
There you go, JJ.
It is
Give yourself
Dougie?
a yes, sir.
Oh, I mean, it only took us the entire league.
I think we went through the entire league.
Yes.
We did.
Even though there were fewer tweets coming out of Duval.
Just a high percentage.
67,189 tweets. For what it's worth,
I love that.
that's more tweets that were sent about Doug than Matt Eberflus in Chicago, which is obviously a major market, I think, because most people don't know who the Bears coach is. Sorry, Taylor Dahl. More tweets than that were sent about Vrabel. More tweets than tweeted about Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers. More tweets than Kevin Stefanski and the Browns in Cleveland. Lovey, Dennis Allen. So, hey, listen, winning, it not only cures all,
Oh, my gosh,
it also gets
yeah.
you talked about
That's
online.
that's called Duval love. That's what that's
And
called.
also Jaguars Twitter,
There you
yes.
go.
Undefeated.
And dude likes ice cream. He's got a smile.
You
Positive.
know,
Honestly,
even killed.
he owes Herbs a little bit for that.
Yeah, probably.
Because
That's
Herbs
true.
was
I'll give you
so
that. You're right.
hated.
He was.
The next guy, of course.
You're going to double down on your love and an
Exactly.
affinity for him. Yeah.
It's like you're in a terrible relationship, like the next one, the first few months, you're like so in love.
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
old
she's
bounce
so
back.
much better.
Yep.
Yeah.
The old bounce back. This one's different. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
It's different. I love that. I love that. And I guess I'm not. When you present it like that, okay, it makes a heck of a lot of sense because this fan base, you marry up everything. This fan base has been dying to get back to relevance, something good, and then you marry up Trevor and Doug, and all of a sudden things take off. And I'm just guessing a lot of those tweets came after October.
Right, and I think
from
that,
November on.
I mean, you guys tell me. I mean, especially Matt, with you working the national circuit on the college football front, I have so many friends that work in different media markets that will tweet at me about Doug, not just about the Jaguars, but they will say, my gosh, look at what Doug has done.
Yeah.
So I would assume that goes into this pot of statistical analysis. And so that's people not inside the walls of Duval County that are tweeting about Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy. People around the world, they love Doug.
You match it up. Like Leon said earlier, I don't know that many coaches want to be adored and loved. They want to exact their will on that team, but he marries up personality and play calling. He's got that scattered, smothered, and covered Waffle House menu of plays.
Yeah, he's consistent. He's even killed. He's the same guy, win, lose, or draw.
I certainly think that this
when he
generation's
wins,
coaches want to be like
when the Eagles were losing, he wasn't so beloved.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. No.
So, I mean, it's winning.
Yeah.
Winning cures a lot of ills, man.
By the way, both on Twitter and the text line, I see all of you that are like, Mia, Doug beat Bill for the Super Bowl. Therefore, he is better than Bill.
Yeah.
I've literally, JJ, I've gotten like 5 messages about this. Like, I agree with you all, but also Bill has 6 world championships, and Doug has 1.
Lovie Smith beat Peterson last year.
So did.
What does that mean?
So did Tom Coughlin, and so where does he rank into all of this?
You can't
go
do
down
that,
road.
folks.
Yeah, you
can't
go back
we
too far.
beat them because we save that for college football season.
Yeah, and we will crown a champion that
That's
way.
what the sport is all about.
And by the way, Jay on the South Side, this analysis was done before Pug Peterson made his debut. This was done at the end of the 2022 season before all the firings.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Popularity is a great measuring stick. There's no doubt about it when we talk about some of these, the way the coaches are perceived. Speaking of popularity in the actual game, the number of one game, the price tag that Peacock is going to pay to televise a playoff game, and let me just amend that, stream a playoff game, the number will blow your mind. It will blow your mind.
One game, playoff game.
One playoff game. And it's so funny because, Matt, you've been talking about, the whole idea of the amount of money that's coming in from the streaming services. Everyone's going to get very, very competitive when it comes to figuring out, what the price tag is going to be. I think we had rights over. We had rights. Oh yeah. We had rights over $1 billion in rights fees for professional sports franchises over the last calendar year. I'm pretty sure it was the last calendar year. Now this will be the topper. As Matt just said, $110 million for one game. For one game.
Well, I mean,
huge, nasty cash.
But Peacock is free, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
It won't be for long.
I have Peacock, and I certainly have to pay for.
You do?
Yeah, I'm sure you can get
it's free.
You can get a free
package.
Peacock, but I have the Peacock that has the Premier League. I have to pay a little bit
we're about to have to start paying, but apparently
okay.
Bo Valentine got it through Comcast when he got his internet.
Yeah, so there's certain ones like
there's certain deals you can
through my phone. I get HBO Max, that type of stuff.
Yeah, my deal I got it free.
Again, not free.
Here's the deal with this game. So it will be exclusive on Peacock. It's January the 13th. It's a playoff game. But if it does involve the Jags or any team, the local affiliate of NBC will have to broadcast the game anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it is a Jags game, you don't have to have Peacock.
Yeah, and it's the local that you're thinking of more than anything else. Will this affect my game and what I'm watching? But bottom line is the NFL, they are cash crazy. They're not going to stop. And now you've got one individual game, $110 million. And the way the story writes, Wall Street Journal is the one who put this out yesterday. It said the NFL selling one playoff game exclusively, which is nearly half the $250 million a year Apple is paying for MLS rights. One game.
Not only that, so you hear $110 million, you think, my God, $110 million for one game. That's just like a minute percentage of the $10 billion annually in media rights the NFL gets. $10 billion.
Well, like if you want to go through the whole thing,
$10 billion annually.
Well, their whole package, their whole pie is like over $13 billion, and that's including everything. So that's
what I'm looking at around there when they just signed.
It's more than $10 billion.
2021. Well, I guess if you add the Amazon and you add the now Peacock.
Yeah, because right now you got over $10 billion. Right now you got $110 billion.
How long is the Amazon deal for?
I don't know, but $110 billion over 11 years, and so that's your $10 billion. But then there's also, at least I have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure that whole piece of pie. This includes local revenue that gets redistributed to all the teams. That's why you want to know why the NFL beats up on Jacksonville, probably a little more than you'd like, is they want that local revenue to have an uptick. That goes into the pile. Anyway, that amount of money that the NFL divvies up is over $13 billion annually. It's a ton.
I don't know if it's that high, but it's still high.
Yeah,
it's still very high.
Yeah. So anyway, $10 billion annually, according to Sports Business Journal, as far as the broadcast.
We as the
television.
consumers is the reason why this markup. As many eyes that are on these games, the
yeah.
advertising dollars in between, the commercial breaks and all that kind of stuff, they know where half of American eyes are going to be when the NFL is playing. They're going to be watching games, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's why they can charge $110 million for one game, because they know that there's going to be consumers' eyes on that game, and then the advertising costs to market in between those games and those commercials is probably outrageous. That's how they had the money.
So now, real quick now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's $10 billion annually, right?
Yeah.
So if you just divide that number by 32, that's $312 million annually for each club. What's the salary cap right now?
205, something like that.
205. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that's more than. I don't know if you can do the math here. That's more than 50%.
I know, but that's I know.
So just make sure we make that point right now.
Well,
and they don't have to,
like you said, it's more than there's more than that. Then.
And they don't have to pay anybody.
Listen, that's why. Middle of the road offensive linemen are getting $20 million a year. $20 million. They just
middle
left
of the road. Hey, Jawan, he just calls you.
Wait,
middle
so what's
of the road.
what's the cap?
Middle of the road.
What's the cap for next year then?
It'll go to 220 something, in that neighborhood, and so it's certainly increasing. And
so
they're
if you're
talking
saying
about
it's over $13 billion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's $406 million.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look and see where those other dollars that I have in my head
That's
are coming
probably
from.
a little better because then it's closer to 50-50.
Yeah. Because there's, like I said, that local revenue. There's a lot that comes in, and here's the other
that's
part.
not even counting the money
Ticket sales.
owners make on
ticket sales, signage, all that stuff.
Apparel, all of that.
And guess what, Leon? You're $20 million for a middle of the road tackle. Imagine if there wasn't a cap. He'd be making a lot more than that.
Be making a lot more. Hey, God bless him. God bless him. Get that bread.
Yeah, you get as much as you
Get
possibly
as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at it like Amazon exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football. They'll have to pay more than $1 billion to broadcast 15 games. So that is it's just.
Apparently, Peacock's making a big push for 2024 Olympics. Like everything's gonna be on there.
I mean, they already were doing that too
Universal.
with the NBC Olympics. So when before there was Peacock, when it was just the NBC Sports app,
A lot was on there.
they had the Olympic channel, which you had to pay a certain amount to unlock that. Which I mean, you also have to bear in mind what NBC Sports has the rights to broadcast these days, because they lost hockey, which was a huge player for them. Their soccer card / soccer and partnerships, JJ, aren't exact. I mean, they're still.
They have
growing.
the Premier League.
They have the Premier League,
which is the one that you want. That's the big one.
They have the big one, but
the Kahuna.
and they also got the Big Ten now for the Big Ten Saturday night. But other than that, they have the A-10, and they have the NFL, and that's.
Well, when
kind of
Miami
it.
joins the Big Ten, Leon, we're gonna have to get Peacock.
All right,
Big Ten.
That's actually a great segue,
That's
JJ.
that's the rumor that I'm seeing online today.
That's actually a great segue.
Please.
Let's
jump
that's
in on
not
this.
even said.
let's jump to that. Matt, give us the lowdown, because we do have some folks on the text line.
So let's just do that, just because and then we'll kind of couch it a little bit.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Matt came into the production meeting this morning and said we have to talk about what's it called, the Seven?
The Magnificent
Seven in the ACC.
They're currently meeting at the swanky Ritz-Carlton there in Amelia.
Yep.
Amelia
And
Island.
this is when it's all being
Yeah,
hatched.
just a short ride up from us, headed up to Amelia Island to hatch a potential defection to the Big 12.
So the let me real quick.
Is this a coup, Matt?
It's well.
Do they have shivs?
Who's with me?
Mm-hmm.
The Magnificent Seven, of course.
Which we are including them.
Is Florida State. So it's Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and who?
Throw Miami in there.
Miami. Sorry,
Yes.
Miami. And the other one.
Don't forget about the other blue blood
the
of
other one
football,
is,
Duke.
North Carolina State. That's the other one.
Yeah.
North Carolina State, not Duke.
Yeah, I know.
So what these guys, what they're trying to do right now in Amelia Island is get to the point where the other seven agree to revenue sharing. In other words, the not so Magnificent Seven have to agree to earning less money than the Magnificent Seven, when the current deal, which is unbreakable, it's a rock solid deal, granted rights deal. It's all, everybody gets an even share. So they're asking them to give up money, which they're not going to do.
Right.
So the only really recourse that they have the Magnificent Seven is to somehow convince the other seven through some kind of deal, and we were talking about this in the meeting, where let's just say if one of the non-Magnificent Seven, let's say Pitt, who won the ACC 2 years ago, wins the ACC, then they get a share so much greater than what they would typically get and greater than what the Magnificent Seven would get.
Right, give them something to play for.
That it has to be where, okay, then we'll do that. There's you're betting on yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So something like that. Okay,
And you know
there
what
has
they're trying
to be
to do?
multiple metrics like that.
I believe, and this is what you and I have talked about, they are trying to, whether they are right or wrong, they are trying to force the hand of all the schools to compete at a higher level, to up the
It's
ante.
part of it. It's also really money-based. But I will
it's
say
very,
this.
very much money-based. But they're basically saying, hey, we're carrying the water for this conference. We're putting our money into our program, our recruiting budget's there, our stadium is full, yada, yada, yada. And you guys are all bringing pennies on the dollar, and we're turning around and paying the freight for you. I get where they're coming from. They may not be successful, but I get where they're coming from.
Here's the other way, and this is why we just had that just happen.
Yeah.
The other way is you get a majority of the league's teams, which is simple majority. So 8.
Yeah, got to get 8.
8 teams have to say they no longer want to be in the ACC. They're disbanding it.
Yeah.
Now, you can say that, but in theory, here's what happens. The ACC disbands. There's no guarantee that the Big Ten or the SEC is going to ask any of those teams. So then what you're doing is you're going to go to the Big 12. And the Big 12, you're going to get less than what you get with the ACC right now. The Big 12 is going to be less than the ACC.
Which is hard to imagine.
Right.
But it's true.
Right, but it's like $5 million more is what the ACC is guaranteed more annually, okay?
We're talking low dollar compared to Big Ten
yes,
and SEC.
Yes. And there's no guarantee that the Big Ten's going to add whoever, or the SEC is going to add Clemson and Florida State. There's no guarantee of that. So what you're doing then is you're imploding a league for no reason other than to maybe restructure the league with the Magnificent Seven and I guess Duke, because Duke in their basketball program, and call it something else.
Which that is in regards to a report from Greg Swaim at GSwaim on Twitter that says that Louisville will become the 8th team to put the ACC's existence into serious jeopardy.
And until Brett McMurphy or Ross Dellinger tweets that, I'm not buying it.
Well, we'll be talking to Brett in the break, and we'll get an idea of what he thinks he might be able to pop on with us. But
so you're saying they can get left in the portal, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
if all things don't work
your
out.
team's
right.
going into the portal.
I mean, honestly, there's
Look,
well, let's say they do get an 8th team. Then what happens?
The Big Ten and the SEC have all said, they've both said, look, we don't need to add people.
Right.
Like they could literally just go away right now, have their own playoff, and it'll do just as good or better than having everybody else in it.
Yeah, and what happens, to JJ's question, what happens is that you put yourself at risk if you're, all right, we're all arm in arm, okay, we're all together, and then they disband, they break up a conference.
And then what?
And then the other ones were like, hey, guess what? We'll take those two over there and that one over there.
No, my question is more simple than that. I'm just saying if they have a majority with 8 teams, then what's the next step? Let's just say the Louisville report is correct. Then what happens?
Well, the next step could be where they say, those 8 teams say we don't want to be part of the league anymore, and the league breaks up.
So I thought you just said it was unbreakable, though.
No, the grant of rights lease is unbreakable. Their media rights deal is unbreakable.
Okay.
That's what
this is all about. But if the league doesn't exist, then the media rights deal doesn't exist. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kill the grant of rights.
They're like, hey, we can't get out of our media rights deal. Let's just break up the league.
They're trying to kill the grant of rights deal.
And then the idea is if you can't get to the SEC or the ACC, then you reform as an 8-team league.
Yeah. This is dirty, but I love it.
Yeah, or you try and steal a couple Pac-12 teams, or you try and steal a couple teams from the Big 12, and then you get a different deal.
Bobby Axelrod.
Hang on, then you get a different deal with another television entity, but
it's going to be less money, you think?
Well, you're in the same situation as the Pac-12 right now.
I was going to say the Pac-12,
and they can't find anyone.
Yeah, the Pac-12 is dying on the vine, so they're going to find a dancing partner.
Dang, we might be on Peacock.
Well, I mean, you know what? I think we should call it
$110 million.
We're definitely on YouTube. I can tell you that much.
Maybe for $110.
Call it the Big South Conference.
The Big South?
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back, baby.
Yeah, I was going to say, coast to coast is what I'm calling it now. If they go get Pac-12 teams,
imagine those meetings
Atlantic
right now.
to Pacific.
Imagine those meetings in the Syracuse AD saying, "Go ahead, I don't care."
Yeah, I know. That's what's
go
happening.
ahead.
That's what's happening.
Here's the thing: if let's just say the Big Ten wants Florida State, okay? Let's just throw that out there. The Big Ten wants Florida State, but they don't break up the ACC, so the Florida State just wants to leave. So because of the granted rights deal is rock solid and it's not going anywhere until 2036, Florida State will owe all of its TV money to the ACC.
Yeah, someone
so
will
the
have
$80 million
right.
per that they would earn from the Big Ten every year would go to the ACC. And there's no chance in hell that the Big Ten is in the business of supplementing the ACC's right to stay alive.
No, I
Zero
get that
chance
part.
in that.
That part I get.
So it's not happening. So unless they break that deal, which would mean breaking up the ACC, which then puts everybody at risk, including the Magnificent Seven. They're not. This is all just.
The only way you're gonna
it's literally all just saber rattling. Is all it is.
I just think they got to make a new movie, a new Magnificent Seven movie starring Clemson, Florida State, Miami, and put it on Peacock, right, JJ?
Yeah. This is what.
They should have had a different name because we are so unmagnificent.
I don't know what they're so. I mean, I get it. They're far behind the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah.
But the 12-team playoffs is going to allow them to possibly get a couple teams every year.
Look, we love the Magnificent Seven, but this shows you how old
I'm pulling over.
the
We do
people
know,
are.
we do know about the movie. We do know about the movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Which,
Just
by
wanna
the way,
make sure.
getting more teams to the playoff is more money. Yeah. The playoff is a standalone event. The playoff is going to be average annually $1.5 billion a year. So they're going to get more money. The more teams in the playoff, the more money you're going to get.
Yeah, but they're doing the saber rattling like you're describing just to try and affect change, and they want change. They want more money. They're tired of it, and so this is. You know what this is?
And the
gonna be?
unmagnificent are leaning back, going, "Screw you."
Yeah, because you know what this is.
It's our money.
12-team playoff with just everyone up for grabs. Individual bids, meaning you don't have to finish top in your
All
conference.
at large.
Guess
That's
what's
where
going to
it's
happen?
headed. Yeah, of course.
These conferences are going to go away
Yes.
at some point. Okay, that's what's happening.
2129 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, would like us to circle back to a topic I don't think we got to discuss on Friday, boys. And if you did, I apologize. I was out at Jaguars rookie minicamp. That being Mike Clay of ESPN's positional rankings, in which he has the Jaguars offensive line ranked 31st out of 32nd. We are going to get Leon's thoughts on that and a whole lot more coming up next in the 1 o'clock hour on a Tuesday edition of XL Primetime, brought to you, of course, by our good friends at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
You down with JAG?
Yeah, you know me.
You down with JAG?
Yeah, you know me.
You down with JAG?
Yeah, you know me.
Who's down with JAG?
The Bold City.
1010XL, proud flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Sportsmen, shooting enthusiasts, and public safety professionals. For over 50 years, we have been your #1 stop best prices on apparel, holsters, flashlights, and more. Look no further than GT Distributors. Celebrate GT Day's sales event with the best prices on everything you need to gear up. This is going to be bigger than ever, and it's happening only at GT Distributors, Friday and Saturday, May 19th and 20th. 2 days only, and you'll save 20% off select brands. That's 20% off top brands like Gerber, Safariland, and Magpul. Come meet factory reps, hourly door prizes, and a firearm giveaway on both days. Don't miss this huge store-wide event. GT Days, May 19th and 20th at GT Distributors, 2285 Kingsley Avenue, Suite A2 in Orange Park. Showroom hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, visit gtdist.com. Restrictions apply. Sale excludes guns, ammo, optics, Surefire, Wellen.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Why are you limping around in pain? Why do you think this is as good as it gets, man? Just say yes to Yas. Dr. Mitchell Yas and the Yas method. Look, you've probably tried medications, treatments, injections, even surgery. Maybe the reason you're still in pain is because they're treating the wrong thing and not fixing the root causes. I found the best kept secret in pain elimination. That's elimination. Dr. Yas and the Yas method. Call him today, 904-906-YASS. That's 904-906-YASS, and say yes to Yas, the best kept secret in pain elimination.
At Sonny's, we don't dabble in barbecue. We aren't part-time pitmasters. Around here, barbecue is life, and this is our month. Come celebrate National Barbecue Month at Sonny's, where barbecue is all we've done for 55 years. Every Wednesday in May, get a $5.50 pork big deal or a $10 pork and rib combo. Available for dine-in, carry-out, or curbside pickup. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the windows down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Mia here, and if you like going to the casino, you are going to love the revamped online casino at MyBookie. They have a live casino option where you play blackjack with a real person, just like you're sitting at a table in Las Vegas. Roulette, same thing. The live casino option puts you on a table with a live person spinning the roulette wheel, just like at the casino. If you haven't checked out this new option, go to mybookie.ag now and see what I'm talking about. I've been playing all last week, and it is awesome. The slot machine options as well. Of course, you get a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. That's promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a sweet deposit bonus. Sign up today at MyBookie and check out their revamped online casino. Take it from me. Go check out that live casino tab for blackjack, roulette, and so much more. That's promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a bonus. Play anytime, anywhere with the MyBookie Casino.
Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying. They can also signal a major problem or electrical emergency. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8-SPARKY. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
How wide is the moon? The answer coming right up.
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
The moon is roughly 2,100 miles wide, about a 3-day drive.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. In case you missed it yesterday on The Drill, Tony Baselli joined the guys for breakfast with Baselli and shared thoughts on whether he believes Anthony Richardson will be the starting quarterback for the Colts Week 1 when the Jags hit the road to open the season.
Everything you hear about him, that's a long way of me saying it wouldn't surprise me now. It would have early, but like hearing his leadership and his EQ, you get the sense he's going to walk into that place and he's just going to be the dude, and everyone's going to say, okay, that's our guy.
Visit 1010XL.com for more. It's 86 degrees at 106. Time and temp are brought to you by Bueller Air Condition. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
me, I would say it wouldn't be that big. It's a great O-line coach here. They definitely helped me out. But when I did it in college, I did it with not one practice at right tackle. It's a smooth transition for me, so I don't think it would be that big of a transition.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Left to right, right to left, left to right. It's a question we ask all the time, and you just heard Anton Harrison. He is the first-round draft pick of your Jacksonville Jaguars, and he will be looked at to take over that right tackle spot. Welcome into the 1 o'clock hour. Joe C., Big Leon Thursday. We're going to quiz him on that. Matty Hayes, he's got stuff cooking as far as, well, this whole conference realignment talk that's going on. Me, O'Brien, we're all hanging out. You can check us out on the YouTube channel, 1010XL. Just go to youtube.com, search 1010XL, say hello to us, interact with us there, or hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, as we've got a little Beaver Chevy Beaver Toyota Tuesday rolling. So you just heard what he said, Leon. Anton Harrison, you got a little bit of a look at him video-wise, but he likes the idea, he's comfortable with the idea of, after all that left tackle he played at Oak State, moving over and playing right, or Oklahoma, I should say.
Well, I mean, listen, he said the right thing. I mean, he's a rookie. He played left. Doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. He wants to go to right. He's saying that this transition to right tackle is going to be a smooth transition. Listen, if you played left tackle your whole career in college, you want to play left tackle because that's where you had your most success. Yeah. The reason why you were drafted in the first round by the Jaguars is because of how you played at left tackle. Yeah. But he's a rookie. Wherever the team needs me, I'm a team player. I'm going to do what I need to do to help this team have success. And I saw him a couple of times on film. Of course, it was on air, and I call them pajamas, just shorts and tops. But he's got good feet. He's lethal with those hands. Not Cersei hands yet. Hasn't graduated to Cersei hands, but he's got good hands. He's physical with his hands. He loves to punch. I like to see him bend his knees a little bit more, but he has head and shoulders back. Being the coach in me, I'm going to critique him a little bit harder because of his alignment. But it's just rookie camp. He's just going through.
Does he look strong enough?
He does look strong, bro.
Okay, because I've heard a lot of people say otherwise. Well, he could put on some.
He could probably put on some
muscle weight on.
Oh, he's going to put on some muscle. He's going to put on some muscle weight because he's going to eat inside the weight room for sure. If you're smart, if you want to stay in this league for the long haul, you got to take care of your mind, your body, and your soul.
Like, riddle me this. Walker Little look basically the same. Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's put good LBs on.
Absolutely.
Now going into his third. That's what it looks like.
So I want to take you kind of behind the scenes here. Some texts I got from a couple different people over at the bank with how they were treating the number 27 overall pick. Not treating him with gloves or anything like that for rookie minicamp, but things they wanted him to work on this past weekend, Leon, knowing that they were not going – that Anton Harrison was not going to be going up against the likes of a Trayvon Walker or a Josh Allen. So he didn't use – if you look at the video in particular of the one where Yasir Abdullah sneaks around.
I saw that.
So notice that he doesn't bring his hand and punch. Mm-hmm. It's because he was told to – it's because we told him not to – we're trying to get him to use his feet. You have to teach protection from the ground up, working on his footwork as opposed to using his hands.
Okay, so they told him not to use his hands?
In that drill in particular.
What the hell is going on over
In that drill in particular because they were trying to build his footwork. And
I've never heard
then
that
they're
before.
doing – because then they go over to the big red bag, and that's where they do –
the heavy bag where they do the punches and all that
Correct.
kind of stuff.
And
But
so,
I would never design the drill where I tell them not to use your
that was
hands.
what I was curious to get your perspective.
I would never because
you're all about the hands.
Yeah, all about the hands. Now, then here's the thing. Now, my philosophy as a coach and as a player is that you block them with your feet. You stop them with your hands. You always got to put your feet in a position, technique-wise, to where you can use your hands as weapons. So I understand what they're trying to do. They want to assimilate the footwork and the speed and all that other kind of stuff. And then they go over to the heavy bags afterwards, and then they work on the punch. But that your hand, your eye coordination, and your feet all go hand in hand.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Your hands, your eyes, and your feet. They all should be coordinated all the same way. I should be coaches.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's where you should be. I'm just saying that's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Though.
And look, the one thing that I think he did say in that bite quickly was Phil Rauscher. The instruction he is going to get That right now appears to be pretty top level. That part's good.
And I think there's something to knowing that he's going up against a 230-pound edge rusher in Yasir Abdullah versus going up against Trayvon Walker.
That's first round versus fifth round. We definitely need to remind ourselves of that.
I used to do the same thing too when I was in college. I always went up against speed guys. Speed guys are going to help you with your feet because it's going to help you with your angles.
And there it is.
It's going to work. It's going to help you with your angles. It's going to help you get out your stance because because more than likely because he's a rookie, he's going to see a lot more 7 and 9 guys in seven gap. So he's going to see guys seven techniques and 9 techniques. So they're going to force him to use his feet because they want him to get over the top so they can beat him inside. I guarantee you more than likely when he starts playing in games, he's going to really see a fire technique because they're going to try to use his techniques and fundamentals against him. So they're going to get a little bit wider to hope he oversets and misses with the hands.
Which is honestly what Yasir Abdullah is going to have to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of, if you're looking at him, again, this is a first-round pick versus fifth-round pick. So we immediately have to couch it and frame it that way. But that's where Abdullah, Matty.
By the way, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got speed, he's got wheels.
I think he's gotten bigger in the last 4 months. I mean, he's put on some weight, man. He's thick.
Well,
and it's funny because he wears 56, Quincy Williams' old jersey, and so I keep looking at it, but he's so much bigger than an inside linebacker like Quincy Williams was.
His old jersey.
Right. So it's like it's funny. I mean, he brick house, but fast, lightning fast.
But that's the thing that that's that whole combine. In other words, this is not a regular off season. This is a combine, train, get stronger, get faster off season. They probably spent so much time in that area just working on that. And maybe that is. Look, I don't know. He's not going to grow any taller, but if he is cat quick and he gets that wide 9 going and they like that, Mike Caldwell calls some of that stuff, then heck yeah.
I mean, if he gets more production than Caleb Von Chason with his 3 sacks in 3 years, I think they'll sign up for that.
All day. I don't ever want to get near that as as long as he's better than that, but it drives me crazy.
Whatever Yazir's locker's at.
Yeah.
Keep it far away
from Caleb.
From Caleb on. So he's 56. Caleb's 45.
I think you got to hope he's better than Trayvon Walker too, don't you?
That part too.
Well,
at least last year.
Your question is, what are you doing with Trayvon Walker?
Yeah.
Are you putting him inside and outside? Yeah. Are you keeping him out on the edge?
He's definitely bigger than he played last year. With the guy that showed up at minicamp, he's a bigger dude now.
How much? 10 pounds? 15, maybe? 10.
At least.
Well, here's the thing about Trayvon. Because of his play last year, he doesn't get preferenced on what he can just stay outside. If you can move him inside and he can get rushed at this particular point, you got to move him on the 3, the 5, the 7, or 9, whatever.
Well, once we get to the OTAs, we'll get a little bit of an idea. They may not give us everything because, as we discussed yesterday, it's just 1 day of each of these OTA weeks before the minicamp, and that means they're not going to let us see everything that they want. But let's not forget, we're talking pick number 1 versus pick 136. And so pick number 1 better figure out a place to make plays for this franchise.
I mean, I guess, but I know you guys always do this, and Hacker was big in this. Once you're in, I don't care what pick you are.
I know, but
I want production.
Yeah, but I'm just simply saying, the only success a franchise can build off of
is by
success
hitting those,
through the draft.
Yes, is hitting those picks. I agree with that.
They've got to.
And no more silly penalties.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've moved on from that, thankfully. Even Jawan Taylor.
They were fairly disciplined
on the defensive front.
Yeah, fairly disciplined. Second half of the season.
I'm already thinking about what I'm going to ask Leon in the next segment, which is these Mike Clay offensive line unit ranks. We're going to continue that conversation because he has the Jaguars, Leon, 31st out of 32. So let's dive into why that is, because he did break down why they're ranked there.
And one other piece we need to get to is also offensive line. Jags may be trading for somebody, so we need to set that up. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they are set up perfectly to take care of you if you're looking at a brand new ride. And here's the deal. Online, you're going to see the selection. You're going to see what they've got. I got people that come to me all the time. Joe C., hey, did you see? Will you help me with this? They've got this beautiful white SUV, whatever it is. Let me know, let them know. But you could start online, BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com, BeaverChevrolet.com. They will hook you up. They'll make sure they got the service to follow that sale so you are happy throughout the entire purchase. So we mentioned something that might have gone down before the draft. Jags may have been trying to purchase somebody from another NFL team. We'll get into it coming up.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Anytime Fitness Sawgrass is the preferred gym of yours truly, Mia O'Brien. Strengthen everything from calves to confidence.
1010XL says thank you to our military.
We're American because you're in America, okay? Greatest country on the planet.
God bless the USA.
Working in the trades industry, going nowhere, sick of dealing with grueling residential install projects and demanding seasonal schedules? Become part of something better. All Weather Contractors wants you to join our multifamily and commercial construction property maintenance team now. Based in Jacksonville, we offer premium pay, bonuses, full benefits, 401k programs, employee stock ownership opportunities, and a culture focused on career advancements and opportunities. Build a better career in the commercial property maintenance industry. Apply online today at allweathercontractors.com.
Oh boy, it's golf majors time again, folks. The PGA Championship is back. And again, we have the PGA heroes versus those live villains. So get your golf bets in now at MyBookie. Mia here, and if you haven't signed up, you need to sign up. This is going to be must-see TV, and you can bet long odds for big golf sweats and even bigger cash. The real fun, of course, though, comes with live betting. You can live bet golf every day, Thursday through Sunday. I'm telling you, if you haven't signed up for it yet, make sure you sign up for MyBookie for the PGA Championship at Oak Hill. Take advantage of their crazy boosted odds. Getting started is simple. Sign up today at MyBookie and use promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. It's simple. Deposit $200 and play with $300 instantly. Just use promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus. Betting with MyBookie. Bet the PGA Championship anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Did you know that weight loss surgery is the most effective solution for obesity, according to the National Institutes of Health? If you've tried everything and you're still struggling with weight loss, a procedure at Baptist Health could be your solution. Our personalized program is a center of excellence with a full team to support you every step of the way. Is it time to reclaim your health? To see if you qualify, call 904-202-SLIM or visit BaptistBariatrics.com.
The sandwich of the month at the Daily Stash is one of my favorites. It's the Cuban sub, El Cubano, fire-roasted pork, applewood smoked ham, Swiss cheese, daddle mustard, ooh, what a kick, and pickles, all on a pressed baguette. Is your mouth watering? Mine is. Locally sourced, fresh ground coffee every morning with your breakfast biscuit. And then, guys, the commitment to quality at the Dash is real. Top shelf, freshly sliced, made to order. Try the Cubano, the May Sub of the Month at the Daily Stash.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 16, 1985, Michael Jordan is named NBA Rookie of the Year, averaging 28.2 points, earning his first of 14 All-Star appearances.
If you want to get into broadcasting, 1010XL is partnering with the Broadcasters and Sportscasters Mentoring Group to offer on-air broadcast training to a select few. Find out how you can be mentored at getintobroadcasting.com. GetIntoBroadcasting.com.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Survey says 1010XL wants to know more about you. Take the listener survey to tell us what you like. You could win tickets to see the Sharks and Jumbo Shrimp or golf at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Just take the survey at 1010XL.com.
Hi, Kevin here with Armor Guard Exteriors and Gutter Helmet. It's time to start your springtime projects. Don't wait. Our suppliers are ready to deliver. Gutters, gutter protection, retractable screens and awnings, window replacements, and glass on ice. So let's get started on your home improvement projects now and receive 18 months, 0 interest, and no money down. Call 904-906-8669.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Tobacco-free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you go, I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Before we send Leon off for the day and knowing he was not here yesterday, and this ranking was posted late on Friday from Mike Clay of ESPN, I want to get your take, Leon. The Jaguars' offensive line, 31 out of 32. Mike Clay of ESPN doing these positional rankings. He goes on to say that most of the replies that he received were about the Jags. Happy to discuss which metrics show them as good or even average. Question mark. Cam Robinson was their highest graded returning offensive tackle by PFF last year with an average grade. He is facing a suspension. Everyone else was below average or poor. Pass block win rates were all poor for projected starters other than Brandon Scherf, who was solid. Run block win rates were a mix. Barch and Little good, Robinson bad, Fortner okay. Yes, I should have had Harrison as the right tackle over Walker Little, but rookies or unknowns don't move the needle a ton short term. So when I first saw that, I read it as this guy was literally grading the Jaguars' offensive line by subtracting Cam Robinson and essentially pairing their offensive four, if you're watching on YouTube, four offensive linemen against the other 31 teams having 5 offensive linemen.
Nonsense.
So that said to me, okay, that's why they're 31, just because you're only grading 4 guys because you're taking Cam Robinson out of it. Now I reread it, and I say, number one, you don't even realize that Walker Little is probably going to be the left tackle. Number 2, I look at it and I say, not the worst points in the world to note, although I would argue that Cam Robinson was not their highest graded returning offensive tackle, because I'm not really sure, according to PFF, how much you could gain in those numbers and statistical analysis, when Walker Little only started 4 or 5 games down the stretch of the regular season. And Ben March, for what it's worth, only played 4 or 5 games.
I think, honestly, the liabilities, if you're looking at that line, is the health of whoever the left guard is, the level of play that Shatley or Ben Barch gives you, and then Luke Fortner get a little stronger. And then I don't mind the criticism because I think it's legit.
No,
and then you got a rookie at right tackle.
A little bit of it is merit. But you also got to remember, too, that Joe Burrow's offensive line that went to the Super Bowl was terrible. And it cost him. It cost him the game in the Super Bowl. The left guard getting a whiffing Aaron Donald on a play where Jamar Chase is just running down the sideline. Right now, he's running to this day. He would have scored a touchdown. But there's a little bit of merit. The reason why I say merit is because Jawan Taylor, in my opinion, was your best offensive lineman on that team last year. He was your best. He's gone. All right? Your second best offensive lineman, in my opinion, is Sheriff. And he was okay last year. He wasn't Pro Bowl caliber. Yeah. He was hurt. He wasn't Pro Bowl caliber. When you pay for a Pro Bowl, that kind of money, you want Pro Bowl ability and talent on the field each and every day. He didn't get that to us because he was hurt. And then your third best offensive lineman, who was Cam Robinson, he's suspended. So I mean, there are all question marks with the offensive line. But in their defense, you got to also understand that the offensive line last year in 6 games gave up no sacks. Okay, that's good. And a lot of the productivity of our offense in the NFL is ranked in the top 10. Offense is ranked in the top 10, and that has a lot to do with the offensive line. I mean, so as much as you want to batter them for being bad.
Right.
You know, you also got to pinpoint the times when they were good. They down that stretch that we played, and we won those games and went 7-1. They played pretty good. They absolutely played, and they had pass rushers, especially in the playoff game against the Chargers. Pass rushers like Boza and Mack, who get after it pretty good, and they gave up one sack, maybe if they gave up one sack. So I mean, but for me, in my opinion, there are some question marks going into this season because your best offensive lineman, who's going to be gone. You got another one suspended. Walker Little now is going to be asked to do a lot more. He played one half of the season last year. He's got to go through a 16-game schedule. And then on to Anton Harrison, who's a rookie. You're asking him not to play like a rookie. He's got to be solid. I mean, if Trevor Lawrence is going to have the same productivity that he had last year, he's got to be well protected. And if you have a best friend of any quarterback is a good running game, because you can't be one-dimensional. You give him a good running game with the components that we have coming back and that we've added on the running game. If they can do that, then we'll be fine.
And the other thing is obviously the quick release that Trevor developed over the course of the season made the offensive line better down the stretch and will make the offensive line better this coming year. All right, who are we setting up for?
McMurphy.
All right, so Brett McMurphy is going to chat us up from
Amelia Island.
As far as what's going on.
Yep.
Miami and the Magnificent Seven on the move, right?
And the Unmagnificent Seven.
Yeah. Oh, the Unmagnificent Seven, they're on the move too?
Because if one's magnificent, then there's got to be the exact opposite.
Yeah. The less than stellar Seven.
Whatever.
Okay. Sucky Seven. All right.
I like that.
Sucky Seven. And
we're also going to find out if there's any truth to some rumors about some AD fights at the bar.
We're gonna debunk a lot of Twitter myths.
Because
let's break and then come back.
Right. I know a couple of those guys.
I was hoping for some fights.
Yeah, I know a couple of those guys that are cooking up there, and if I need to call AIL, I'll get him over there to find out if they're throwing knuckles. ACC, that'd be the toughest thing they've done in a while. All right, Big Sirs, you are out the door.
Howdy.
All right, enjoy it. All right, so Brett McMurphy, we're gonna go back to back.
It sounds like we're going to go back to back with Richard Johnson of Sports Illustrated, but we're going to confirm that time with him, too. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. It's NASCAR's All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Are you kidding me?
Sunday night, brought to you by Famous Automotive Tire and Quick Lube, servicing every customer like they're famous on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Josie for the Jacksonville Eye Center. If you're thinking about LASIK and finally seeing 20/20 without glasses or contacts, now's the time to do it. Jack's Eye Center and Dr. Robert Snipper, experts in eye care with the latest technology. Dr. Snipper uses the Allegretta Wave and blade-free interlace technology. And with it, Dr. Snipper has earned a prestigious reputation for his success in LASIK. You need to call 355-5555 right now and make an appointment to see Dr. Snipper or log on to drsnipper.com.
Honda has done it again with their all-new exciting SUV and truck lineup for 2023. HRV, Pilot, Passport, Ridgeline trucks, and our popular CRV Hybrid. This is without a doubt Honda's most impressive lineup. Visit your local Honda dealer today. We're dealing.
Business owners know Andy's Automotive and Truck Services for routine fleet maintenance or emergency repairs. Andy's offers after-hours and mobile service to minimize downtime and keep your fleet on the road. Visit andysats.com.
Run to the Jacksonville Sharks Jungle Night game as they fight against the Albany Empire this Saturday, May 20th, 7 o'clock at the ViStar Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you can't find this kind of affordable fun anywhere else. Boy and Girl Scouts purchase tickets, enjoy a post-game autograph session, Educators Appreciation Night, buy one ticket, get one free. Shark Tank this Saturday, May 20th, 7 o'clock, ViStar Memorial Arena. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. All education, BOGO ticket. Fins up.
They're the guys you want to talk hunting and fishing with. Perfect case. Captain Kevin, Captain Kirk, and Jeff Lageman.
Let's go to the woods, y'all.
On the Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter. 7 to 10 every Saturday morning on 1010XL.
Do you have a plumbing problem that's making you feel like a sitting duck? Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic. Our team of expert plumbers will have your pipes flowing smoothly in no time. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work,
Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
Now is the perfect time to make sure your home is protected from storms by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. Get $500 off a full roof replacement and $250 off roof repairs. Plus, same as cash financing for 12 months. This offer expires May 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 133-0147, CBC 125-8484.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
You lost your swing. We got to go find it.
It's your Saturday morning swing adjustment.
Rip it and rip it.
Get the golf tips and talk to take your game to the next level. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
This is Garrett Scantling, and when I needed surgery on my foot, I selected Dr. Acevedo and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what orthopedic injury you have, go where you're treated like a pro. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is Dr. George Acevedo, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Thanks to all of the athletes who ask us to help them get back on their feet. Come see us today.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
All right, 1:35 here on 1010XL, deep into hour number 2. We've got Brett McMurphy of the Action Network down at Amelia Island, or I should say up at Amelia Island.
Action McMurphy.
Up at Amelia Island at the ACC spring meetings. Brett, so far today we've read that Louisville's going to jump in and be the 8th team, which would give the Magnificent Seven, not as not to be confused with the Unmagnificent Seven.
The movie.
The Magnificent Seven, the ability to break up the ACC. We also saw on Twitter, and again, it's Twitter, Brett, so we should believe everything, that NC State Athletic Director Boo Kerrigan and Wake Forest Athletic Director John Curry were fighting at the bar last night at 9 p.m. and had to be separated by Miami AD Dan Radakovich. So what we're going to bring you in now to
true or false,
kind of settle this nonsense, okay? Where are we right now with the Magnificent Seven?
Well, I didn't get to the bar till 10 o'clock, so I'm pissed off now. I can tell you there were no fights from 10 p.m. to closing time. I can confirm that. As far as Louisville joining it, the Louisville AD is not even here. So, I don't want to just barge other people's reporting, quote reporting. I don't know who reported it, speculated it. I'm not buying it.
All right. And as far as the rest, like where are we right now with these guys? And look, I've been saying all along, and I know you and I have talked about this for a lot. This is literally just saber rattling. There's nothing these guys can do.
Well, there is something they can do. They can challenge the grant of rights, but they won't do it 7 at once because that's collusion. Now, they could say they're going to leave together to form another conference. That certainly wouldn't be collusion. But to leave, I've been told for multiple schools to say they're going to challenge the grant of rights at the same time would be collusion. And I guess it kind of sounds like I'm saying the same thing, but I think there is a little difference there. I think ultimately, Matt, that these 7 schools view themselves as the most marketable. They feel they bring the most value to the league. You know, depending on whatever metrics you go by, you can certainly make that argument. I'm sure you can bring up other metrics that probably maybe some of these don't include in that 7, or there should be other schools in that 7. But I just think they want to get an equal revenue share. Those guys want a bigger piece of the pie, and that pie, unfortunately for the ACC, is not going to change until 2036. So while they want to increase the amount they get, well, the other people, they're not going to say, you know what, we'll take less money. Go ahead. Hey. Florida State, Clemson, everybody, we're good. We'll take $5 million less because we want you to be happy. That ain't going to happen. I don't think they're going to leave and join another conference like you and I talked about last night. There's too many factors involved. This actually happened with the WAC a long time ago. That's how the Mountain West became created. 16-team WAC, 8 teams left, created the Mountain West. The biggest difference here is now the college football playoff is involved and all the revenue involved with the college football playoff. And certainly they are not going to just, we're going to add another conference and we're going to split up our college football playoff money into smaller portions. And also you need a network. Would ESPN would they have to stick with the remaining schools, or would they jump over to the Magnificent Seven? Who knows? That's unknown either. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, and we have a wager we won't announce on the air, but I really believe that there will be at least one school, maybe more, challenge the grant of rights probably within the next 2 years. I don't believe all 7 would jump at once. I think that's a last resort, but certainly they are kind of talking and trying to. They're trying to figure out how they can get more money. Good luck with that. The ADs did not talk yesterday after my report and what Ross Dellinger reported. They're in meetings now until 6 p.m. and we'll see if they'll talk to us when they emerge.
Let's take our listeners a little bit into how the sausage is made and how this Magnificent Seven came to be, Brett, because a lot of people are hearing this and they're chuckling in their car driving around thinking of the movie The Magnificent Seven. How long have these 7 schools aligned together with a potential move for power within the conference?
Well, they've been talking for several weeks, maybe even a few months. Mm-hmm. But you can go back to last summer when there was, talk of schools that were, looking at the grant of rights again. This is something that's different with the ACC. The grant of rights, the copy of the grant of rights, the only copy is in Greensboro, North Carolina, in the ACC offices. So if a school wants to see the grant of rights, the contract that binds them all together, they physically have to go to the ACC offices, I guess, get the key, get the combination of the vault, and walk in and look at it. You can't take pictures of it.
This does sound like a movie, Brett, as you're describing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to get a picture of the Mona Lisa these days. So, so I do know that those 7 schools and other schools have sent their lawyers, have sent their general counsel, have sent their bean counters up to Greensboro to look at this agreement, to look at this contract. I've talked to people that have looked at it, and depending on who I talk to, some people think, there's a way out. Other people think there's not a way out. Ultimately, the lawyers that work for the ACC and or whoever these schools try to break the grant of rights are going to be very, very rich in the next 5 to 10 years. But can they get out? I don't know. The 7 schools, Ross Dillinger did a really good job, breaking down a lot of the stuff that had been going on. And I was able to track down the 7 schools. And I was sitting there speaking with someone that was among the 7 schools. And I'm like, wow, what should we call you? The Super 7, the Supreme 7? And then, of course, I thought of the movie, and I said, how about the Magnificent 7? And I was given a nod. So then I tweeted Magnificent 7. And last night, 2 football coaches who are not part of the Magnificent 7 came up to me and were like, shooting guns at me, like, oh, Magnificent 7, huh? What are we supposed to be called? And then they said, I won't use the word on family radio, but what are we, the crappy 7? And I said, well, you got 24 hours to come up with a better nickname, or that's what I'm going to start calling you. So they have about 12 hours left before we call those other 7 the crappy.
And I went.
7.
Yeah, I went with the sucky 7, Brett. So I mean, feel free to use it.
This is a family radio show, but we have fun here.
All right, so and look, this is a little deep for most college football fans out there, but it's still very important and very impactful to the way our college football world works. We're talking with Brett McMurphy. You can see all of his stuff, social media, at Brett_McMurphy, the Action McMurphy man, he of the Action Network. But, Matt and I have had these discussions. I know you guys had. And he and I were like, bowing up. I'm like, bro, I understand that the lesser schools, let's call them, are not going to give up money to be a part of, to make the other guys happier. I totally get that. But the other part of it, Brett, they're at least trying to impose that they are spending more money. They care more about football than the other schools, and they're basically paying the freight, and they don't feel like it should be an even distribution.
I agree with all that, but also I see the other viewpoint of the schools that, for instance, Wake Forest. They probably don't spend as much as Florida State or Clemson, but you know what? On the field, they've been very successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Miami. They probably spend as much as anybody. They've obviously been disappointing last year. Didn't go to a bowl game, picked by someone. I don't want to say his name, but his initials were Brett McMurphy. In my preseason top 4 to start last season, they barely won 4 games. So I see both sides of it. The Mountain West has an uneven revenue distribution. Boise State gets more than anyone else. Boise loves it, but you talk to anyone else in that league, and they're not happy. You look at the SEC; they're all treated equally. Vanderbilt makes the same as Alabama, at least off the field stuff, TV revenue. Should Alabama make more? Absolutely, but they don't. So again, it depends on what side of the fence you're on with this. But I think for most conferences, it works better if everybody makes the same amount of money. And, if you have more success, you're going to make more money through the college football playoff, bowl games, NCAA tournament, et cetera. But just to say, well, we deserve more money because more people watch us on TV, you should have got that before you signed the contract.
All right, so we're speaking with Brett McMurphy, the Action Network. And, Brett, let me know if Steve McQueen or Charles Bronson or Yul Brynner, or the ghost of them,
wow, you named off 3 to start. They did a remake, by the way?
So no, because the old ones, I'm not even watching.
But what about
the old one?
are you 26?
Denzel Washington's in the remake.
2016's a good one.
I haven't seen it. I might have to see it. If Denzel's in it, I might have to see it. All right, so listen, this is the way I look at this thing. First off, they could break it. They could get out of the grant rights. Let's just say everything aligns perfectly and they can get out of that thing. There's no guarantee that the SEC or the Big Ten wants them. So then what do? They go to the Big 12? And then what?
No.
They're making the same that they make at the ACC.
No. Well, Matt, you know this. No one's going to get out of the grant of rights unless they have a wink, nod agreement with somebody to go somewhere else. Now, there will be nothing official. There will be no documents. You won't be able to track down a paper trail. But no one is going to jump over the wall unless they know they're going to have a landing space. I think the SEC and Greg Sankey as well as anyone. I know if you gave him truth serum, or you may not even have to give him truth serum. They'd prefer to stay at 16 with OU and Texas. They don't want to add any members. Right. But then you get into the situation where, well, you know what? The Big Ten would love to have a Florida presence. Florida, Miami. They'd love North Carolina. I think North Carolina is probably the most undervalued of all the 7 because they're in a state that neither conference is in right now. So they would be very attractive. Obviously, their basketball program carries a lot of clout. If the Big Ten suddenly is looking at, oh, you know what, we're going to add Florida State and Miami, well, then the SEC may be like, well, we don't really want Florida State and Miami because we already have Florida and we're pretty set in the state, but we also don't want the Big Ten to have them, so we may have to take them so the Big Ten doesn't get them. I think that's a real possibility. I think the Big Ten has flipped everything on its side as far as how we think about college conferences, and the fact that they went to get USC and UCLA, I think they wouldn't hesitate to go get a Florida State, a Miami, and North Carolina, et cetera, if they have that opportunity, because again, it's not only the Big Ten that will benefit from this, it's Fox. And so Fox can plant a flag in the state of Florida. Do you think the SEC or ESPN wants that to happen? Absolutely not. So, it's kind of like, we're using all these bad, gunfight references, but it could be, who blinks first. But I don't think anyone's going to make a decision to get out unless they have a kind of, secret agreement that if you do get out, you have a place to call home.
Brett, awesome stuff as always. Before we let you go enjoy the beauty that is Amelia Island, I want to let you know one of our nooners, who is also one of our first responders, thank you for your service, wants to know if he should go and evacuate the Ritz just to mess with the Magnificent Seven and claim there's some sort of emergency going on. Do you endorse this?
I would never endorse that publicly, but privately, actually, it would be hysterical to see them all leave. But no, the Amelia Island's beautiful. Unfortunately, I sit in the lobby all day and watch people walk back and forth to the bathroom and different meetings. So it hasn't been too thrilling for me. But just text me whenever this is going to happen, so I can.
You'll know to be out. Yeah, but Nassau County.
I have video of them running out of the room.
There's a big difference up there, Brett. Nassau County, like Fernandina, that's a saloon style bar fight. Over there on Amelia Island, not so much. They're not going to throw knuckles over there, I don't think.
Yeah. I wish I saw the report about the fight. Now that I know about it, I'll ask both ADs about it.
You got to look it up. It's hilarious.
Sure, it's 1,000% inaccurate, but whatever.
All right, bro. Listen, man, we really appreciate it. Thanks for trying to straighten it all out for us.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll change in a day, but at least you're up to date for now.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett McMurphy, the Action Network. By the way, Brett made a great point about how the Big Ten would want to get into the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But believe me right now, Florida's going to be very adamant about either Miami or Florida State in the SEC. And I mean adamant to the point of, you want to add them, we'll go to the Big Ten.
Yeah,
that's how adamant.
We'll go with you. And I totally get it. But it's funny because this is becoming, I don't even know what round we're on, but let's just say potentially the third round, because we had Oklahoma and Texas, then we had USC, UCLA, and all these things, these seismic shifts. Those would be, I would classify as the two biggest.
Right.
You could throw those other ones around if you want, but this is round 3. I don't know that we're done. I honestly don't know that there are a few more big swings that are going to take place.
Oh yeah, of course. And it's again, and you might drive around and you missed it. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you right now, the Big Ten would kill to get Florida.
Yeah,
and Florida knows that.
Right.
They fit perfectly with what the Big Ten is.
Yeah.
Their academic alignment. Okay. So if the SEC pushes and pushes about Florida State, Miami, they'll just say, all right, go ahead. We'll go to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And in case you did miss our conversation with Brett McMurphy of the Action Network, we are going to be joined by Richard Johnson of Sports Illustrated, who is also in Amelia Island in the 2 o'clock hour. And obviously with Richard's involvement with the SEC and everything that he covers over on that side of things, I'm excited to also hear, what this does mean for those other 2 major conferences if Clemson, Florida State were to defect on their own, independent of the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, there's so much movement out there. Coach Campo is going to talk Jaguar football with us coming up in a second. Let's do a little 10-10 take on this college football front, just to kind of wrap it up for now. But we'll have a little bit more later.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
I think every day is National Barbecue Day. I really do. but it is officially. I don't know who named it, but today is National Barbecue Day. So head on to any one of your area Sunnies. If you missed today, don't forget they are celebrating 55 years making barbecue, and you can cash in on that pork big deal for $5.50 every Wednesday, and we're running out of time through the month of May, but make sure you take advantage of that, or the pork and rib combo for just $10. Now, the 10-10 take it seriously. Take it very seriously what's going on right now. Even though you said, you know what, I just want to see my football teams play. I don't give a rat what else goes on. Well, this is more and more of a shift. And when we talk about earlier, a $110 million tab to air one football game in the National Football League, that's what Peacock is prepared to pay for a playoff game. This is the money that they're all chasing right now. So that's why there are saloon scraps and bar room fights that are going on right now, and teams are looking around figuring out whether they are in the right place at the right time or if they need to move. They're panicking a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on this bad boy. But that Florida to Big Ten discussion you think may not even be thinkable, fathomable, it is. Trust us. That is the 10-10 take. It is fathomable.
So you know what the concept of the Magnificent Seven is, by the way, the movie. It's 7 gunfighters are hired by these Mexican peasants to liberate their village from oppressive bandits.
Yeah. They basically
exactly
needed
what's going on right now.
Yeah.
In the ACC.
And they're mercenaries, basically that hired guns.
Right. So
and
Brett literally just nailed it, and he didn't even know it.
By the way, 1960 was the first. I'm going to ask Coach Campo which Magnificent Seven he's in on coming up. I can guarantee I know the answer.
I'll watch the updated one.
But the other one's 2016.
Now that I know Denzel's in it.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, 2016. So the Magnificent Seven, we thought a lot of those old guys that are making these big decisions in the conference, they may not even know there was a 2016 movie. They probably don't. But I love that McMurphy's the one who came up with that. All right, into the 2 o'clock hour. Coach Campo, we're going to talk a little bit about rookie minicamp. He was out there, his eyes on those potential stars for your Jacksonville Jaguars, so we'll get the latest from him coming up.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Anytime Fitness Sawgrass is the preferred gym of yours truly, Mia O'Brien. Strengthen everything from calves to confidence.
The Frangie Show.
We got a nanny. So she is a nanny.
Lauren Brooks.
No. She's not a nanny.
Keeping the boys in line.
Of course she's a nanny.
Afternoons on The Frangie Show.
When does the lying stop?
On 1010XL.
Why can't I just speak to an actual human being? I need a new bank.
Well, actually, at One-to-One Financial, communication is not only number one, it's one-to-one. When you call, you get to talk to a real live Jacksonville human, fast, and with someone who's truly concerned about your needs, your security, and finding solutions as a team.
Thank you. Ready to break up with your bank? Find a real long-term banking relationship at One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit one-to-onefcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Mia here, and if you like going to the casino, you are going to love the revamped online casino at MyBookie. They have a live casino option where you play blackjack with a real person, just like you're sitting at a table in Las Vegas. Roulette, same thing. The live casino option puts you on a table with a live person spinning the roulette wheel, just like at the casino. If you haven't checked out this new option, go to mybookie.ag now and see what I'm talking about. I've been playing all last week, and it is awesome. The slot machine options as well. Of course, you get a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. That's promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a sweet deposit bonus. Sign up today at MyBookie and check out their revamped online casino. Take it from me. Go check out that live casino tab for blackjack, roulette, and so much more. That's promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a bonus. Play anytime, anywhere with the MyBookie Casino.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey gang, Prosser here. You know I love trivia, so let me start you with a trivia question. Did you know that only 2% of U.S. beef is graded prime? ABBQ is the only Northeast barbecue restaurant that uses only prime brisket and slow smokes using only wood. Our slow-cooked prime brisket, cooked using only wood, produces the most succulent and mouth-watering brisket you can ever taste. Come and experience the prime brisket at ABBQ. Visit it today. Satisfy your cravings for the best barbecue in town. ABBQ. Meet and drink with us.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Mom. Looking for a great way for your kids to enjoy sports? Check out I-9 Sports, the way youth sports should be, offering flag football, basketball, soccer, and t-ball in Duval, St. Johns, and Clay County. You can play year-round, fall, winter, spring, and summer seasons with co-ed programs ages 3 to 17. Enter promo code 1010XL to receive $5 off registration. All the details are at i9sports.com.
Sportsmen, shooting enthusiasts, and public safety professionals. For over 50 years, we have been your #1 stop best prices on apparel, holsters, flashlights, and more. Look no further than GT Distributors. Celebrate GT Day's sales event with the best prices on everything you need to gear up. This is going to be bigger than ever, and it's happening only at GT Distributors, Friday and Saturday, May 19th and 20th. 2 days only, and you'll save 20% off select brands. That's 20% off top brands like Gerber, Safariland, and Magpul. Come meet factory reps, hourly door prizes, and a firearm giveaway on both days. Don't miss this huge store-wide event. GT Days, May 19th and 20th at GT Distributors, 2285 Kingsley Avenue, Suite A2 in Orange Park. Showroom hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, visit gtdist.com. Restrictions apply. Sale excludes guns, ammo, optics, Surefire, Wellen.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Obviously, the summer temperatures are already here, and if you're like me, you want that oppressive Florida heat to stay outside the house. That's why I'm such a fan of Pella Windows and Doors. By now, we know that windows are the #1 way that heat gets in and the cold gets out. So when you're ready for the stylish design and energy efficiency that comes from Pella Windows and Doors, we invite you to visit their showroom on Phillips Highway next to Tesla or find them online at PellaJacks.com.
1010XL would love to know what you like. Take the listener survey to tell us about you. You could win a Trevor Lawrence rookie football card or the chance to see Matchbox 20 at Daly's Place. Take the listener survey to tell us what you like at 1010XL.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I said yes to Yas, Dr. Mitchell Yas, and the Yas method. Now I know, you've probably tried medications, treatments, injections, even surgery. Maybe the reason you're still in pain is because they're treating the wrong thing and not addressing the root causes. Well, I know from personal experience, this does happen. But I found the best kept secret in pain elimination, Dr. Yas and the Yas method. Call him today, 904-906-YASS, and say yes to Yas.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. In case you missed it yesterday on The Drill, Tony Baselli joined the guys for breakfast with Baselli and shared his thoughts on whether he believes Anthony Richardson will be the starting quarterback for the Colts Week 1 when the Jags hit the road to open the season.
Everything you hear about him, that's a long way of me saying it wouldn't surprise me now. It would have early, but like hearing his leadership and his EQ, you get the sense he's going to walk into that place and he's just going to be the dude, and everyone's going to say, okay, that's our guy.
Visit 1010XL.com for more. It's 86 degrees at 1:59. Time and temp are brought to you by Bueller Air Condition. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, we're, obviously for us really as coaches to kind of put our eyes on them. Install some offense, defense, special teams, see what they know, take it to the classroom, and then just be able to watch them just move around and kind of begin the process of, how are they going to fit with our team and current team and just get a good feel for, these guys these next couple days.
Let's welcome in XL Primetime's coach, Dave Campo.
From Doug Peterson's comments to our head coach and his comments, you heard what he just had to say. Welcome in, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
You fired up? I know you were fired up after seeing some of these rookies.
Well, I was, and unfortunately, I couldn't make it the second day, so I saw the first day.
Yeah.
And now I'm all fired up for the OTAs.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
Now, what Doug said, just play off of that for a second before we zero in on some of these guys. But that's it, is you got a new crop of talent, basically, that you get to bring in. You immediately get to put eyes. How much do you get out of those first handful of days?
Well, I think you get a lot, from the standpoint that it's the first time you when they say we lay our hands on them, you're talking about mentally and physically.
Yeah.
I think the thing that sticks out to me from the mini camps and the OTAs is you throw a bunch of stuff at those guys, even though on the field you're not going against each other much, but you're throwing a lot mentally. You try to put in, I would say during the OTA, the mini camps combined with the OTAs, you probably put in 75% of your scheme, and you see how people react to that. How the guys that it's a little more difficult to get. I was watching Yasir Abdullah at one drill, and from a negative standpoint, he was a little slow on a couple things on which foot was supposed to be up. Those are things that you kind of look at and say, okay, well, we're going to have to be a little bit more hands-on this guy on certain things. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player. It just means you get a feel for how to coach guys when you're in that situation.
Coach Campo, you walked off the field Friday, a little bit of rain, so you and I were taking some shelter in the tunnel. And I said, all right, Coach Campo, before I do Mia's Quick Hits driven by Arlington Toyota, what are your 3 big takeaways? And you kind of put your hands up in the air and you said, well, I could tell you this. They're definitely a 3-4.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, just the way they were lining up on some defenses, and they were working Abdullah as an outside linebacker, and it just when they lined up, they were in a 3-4 front, and in nickel they were a 4-man line. So nothing has changed, but how they use people is the key. And this is how I feel about this draft. When you bring in guys, this is what I call a developmental draft, meaning that you're only as good as the roster, not just the starting 22, because, you have an injury, this or that, but it also allows you, if you have good backup people, to move guys, experiment with guys, get some guys a little, extra reps from the second group. Back in the day with the Cowboys, we had 8 defensive linemen that could play. And you've heard me say it 100 times. Jimmy Jones only played 15 plays. Yeah. But it allowed guys to be aggressive. He
played his tail off for those 15 plays.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was he'd have a fumble recovery for a touchdown, a couple of sacks. But it really meant that we had good depth.
Right.
And that's what this team was missing, in my opinion. We were fortunate that they didn't have many injuries last year, in my mind.
All right, so physically looking at Anton Harrison, looking at him physically, he's one of those wide shoulder, big upper body dudes, and his lower body's not like Cam's lower body where his legs are thin. He's got good legs too. He looks the part, right?
He does, absolutely. And just watching him a little bit, and I spent a little bit more time on the defense than I did the offense, but just watching him move around a little bit, he has excellent feet. You can see why he was a left tackle in college. He's got good feet movement. Watching him hit the bags a little bit, he can punch you now. I mean, he's strong, but he's not strong enough yet, just like Fortner was in the same situation. He's got to do a good job between now and through training camp and have himself ready. He's got to improve a little bit physically as well, but boy, he is big and he can move for a big guy.
Yeah, you mentioned Abdullah had the wrong foot up. That would be troubling if Anton had the wrong foot up. But we played a soundbite from him earlier, and Hayes had the one-on-one with him, and he feels like he's suited to do it.
Well, I think he, I'm so with the right tackle, left tackle thing.
Right.
I mean, certain guys, it's not a problem. I know Leon feels like it's a big issue. Well, you've heard me say we had a big issue with our defensive ends not changing, the hand down.
Yeah.
But I think when you work at the problem that we had is flipping them. If you're not flipping them and they're working at the one spot, to me, once you get used to playing a right tackle, you should be just as good as you were as a left tackle because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Right. The guy that has a problem is the swing tackle.
Moving back and forth.
The swing tackle. He has to be a little bit different cat because, he's got to do it he's working on both at the same time. Yeah.
Let's go back to the defense because I know that is who you were really keyed in on. You said to me, it's defensive backs. They all can plant and pivot, but were there any defensive backs that maybe surprised you with either their stature or something they did on Friday?
Well, the one that stuck out to me the most was Johnson, the safety. And the reason I say that is I kind of had the opinion in watching him a little bit on film and some of the things that he was a box safety. He's not a box safety. He's not a nickel in my opinion yet. But he has more quick twitch, reaction ability, it looks like, on, making those breaks and stuff, is probably better than his 40-yard dash time. So, I still think speed-wise, he's a safety. And we've talked about him maybe playing a dime situation where he can come in and play Kelsey, in third and long and some of those kind of things, because he can play, he can cover. But he's not going to cover a 4-4, 4-3 receiver deep. He'll cover him some underneath. So I was kind of impressed with the twitch of a lot of those guys. Braswell, the kid from Rutgers, he looked like he had some twitch.
Yeah.
I kind of saw the same thing with Monteric Brown. So
last year, you mean?
Yeah, from last year.
Yeah.
And so to me, it all comes down to how they play. And still in the back of my mind, everybody's talking Trey Herndon, but maybe Monteric Brown is the guy they're thinking about as a nickel. Who knows? You don't know those guys. It takes you a year or so before you start getting the scheme and that type of thing.
But you as far as the slot corner, you as a former defensive backs coach, that's an issue there for them, right?
It's an issue from the standpoint that I don't think that Trey is a great player. I think he's a solid player probably, and they probably feel like that's good enough if they don't have somebody else in the wings. But in all honesty, I think that's an issue that you want to try to get better at.
Right.
And they didn't really address that if you look at the draft order.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they didn't take
right, but they may have a guy there.
Well, they took They didn't take the safety until the 5th round. They didn't take a cornerback until after that.
So your point is they may be thinking, we like Buster. We like Buster Brown. We think he can be a guy that can play for us.
Maybe, and again, there's defensive backs. I talked about that Caleb. I lost his last name. The kid from BYU, Caleb Hayes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Caleb Hayes. He runs 4.31.
Right.
Well, he's a late pick, but we had 12 rounds when I coached originally.
Yeah.
And there are guys out there that can play, and maybe that's his niche. Maybe he's not a guy that's going to be outside all the time. Maybe he's a nickelback. So,
now, does this just again? There are no declarations being made right now. This is just the beginning of what you're seeing. Like you said, you made some, thoughts in your head. That's 3-4 all the way. All right. Will they play more zone based on what they have right now? Or is it still they're going to have to lock up on guys?
I think they do run the zone pressures,
Yeah.
which is good out of the 3-4 because you got linebackers on the edges that can go up or back.
Right.
That's what makes it a little difficult for the offense. But you're playing zones with missing gaps. You only have 3 underneath.
Yeah, okay.
When you run a zone pressure. So they will do that, but I think they have to play some man coverage in order to be successful.
Which still means they got to find a guy.
Yeah, they've got to pressure the quarterback.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to pressure the quarterback, they have to do a better job.
Yeah, that is the essence of it.
Right.
All right. So let's stay on that. We got to hit a few other ones because we were talking about the line grades that someone else put on the Jags.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And I want you to get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, your top three choices were all offense, and they're going to try and make sure that they have polish top to bottom to where they give weapons to Trev and the ability to score. So we'll get into that coming up. Thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. Look for them online. That's the best way, the virtual way, to shop for that brand new ride. You start looking for color, interior, what you want. Price is always important, but make sure you get that warranty to back it up. That's what they can offer you. They are there to wow you. BeaverChevrolet.com, BeaverToyota, StAugustine.com. So let's get Coach to go through a couple of those other ones. Brenton Strange, Tank Bigsby, Anton Harrison. We already spoke about him a little bit, but we'll stay on the rookie minicamp. If you have any questions, you can throw them at us on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. There's an energy and drama to play-by-play sports.
This crowd, a big factor.
You never know what's going to happen.
Wow!
Feel the energy on 1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Mia O'Brien here for my friends at Duck Duck Rooter, the experts when it comes to all things related to plumbing and septic. Maybe you're planning a full plumbing repipe for your older home, or you need help with a new septic system installation. Duck Duck Rooter can handle it. From septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, clogged drains, new water heater installations, they do it all. Duck Duck Rooter is also a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So when you're stuck, just call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
The next time you have an orthopedic injury, call Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. That's what we do. I'm Bob Arablo, president of Your Jacksonville Icemen. We've been using them to take care of our athletes, and you can rely on them to take care of yours.
This is Dr. George Acevedo, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Thanks to all of the athletes who ask us to help them get back on their feet.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
At Kubota, they want to help you deliver a job done right. That's why they want you to know that the new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You've got work to do. They've got the reliable, durable, and versatile lineup to help you do it. Visit Coastal Equipment today for all your equipment needs.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Wouldn't it be great if you could ask a woman what she's thinking?
Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Mia O'Brien.
What a world that would be if you could just ask a woman what she's thinking.
Helmets and Heels.
Driven by Tire Outlet.
And presented by Underwood Jewelers. Tuesday nights at 6.
On 1010XL.
Daniel Tosh is back. Sweet Tea Tour.
It is great to be here in America. The greatest country in the world.
September 24th, Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts Moran Theater. On sale now. Buy tickets online at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss your chance to see Daniel Tosh.
RV prices holding you back from your camping?
For a limited time, General RV is offering exclusive savings during the bid and buy sales event. We're ready to negotiate prices and accepting offers on all new RVs. Make your camping dreams a reality with your price when you bid and buy May 17th through the 21st at General RV in Orange Park on Wells Road off 295. Any offer from a potential customer will be considered, but not all offers will be accepted. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
What I really want to do is ask Coach Campo on the air about this Aaron Judge conspiracy, but we're short on time.
A lot of chirping from the dugout.
Richard Johnson of Sports Illustrated going to join us shortly before 2:30, and so we want to make sure we get all of the great nuggets from Coach from Jaguars rookie minicamp and his conversations with folks over at TIAA Bank Field before we get back to the ACC and potential defections by the Magnificent Seven. Coach Campo, as we circle back to Friday's activities on the field, who did stand out to you on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, I would have to say the guy of the top guys that were there. And again, I didn't watch the offense as much, but I did watch the three, Harrison, Strange, and Bigsby. Bigsby is the one that stuck out to me the most. And the reason for it is he's big and he is fast. You can say whatever you want. He's powerful. I understand that he's a top 5 in speed, run after catch, and size of all the backs in the draft.
Right.
Well, it shows because he's a good-looking kid, and I think he's got some burst to him. That's going to be interesting. I think Thunder and Lightning, I think the backup backs have got to be looking to they better get going. Because,
looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, because I think he's got a chance. I really do.
All right, so I want to ask you something away from the rookies real quick.
Okay.
About Cam and the suspension.
Yeah.
So as a former coach, as a guy who's been around these things, what do we take from? We still haven't heard anything about the appeal. Do you think it's shorter, longer? What's your thoughts on this?
I really think it's going to be short. I think, from what I can gather, and again, we're not hearing all that much, right? What I can gather is, they're saying, I guess they're always going to say this, that they didn't realize that this was an issue.
Yeah.
So to me, that's not an 8-game suspension, if that's even close to being true. I think it's going to be probably 4 games, and he'll be back. And I think that because you're not hearing anything, that's probably a good sign to me.
Yeah, I've had 4 plugged in my head. That's what it feels like. Whether
Right.
it's masked agent, who knows what it was. But, anything like that.
Yep.
I said to you before that the offensive line is not without criticism because of just the suspension, rookie, a lot of things that they've got to fix. But Trevor's quicker, smarter, boom, 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 ball gets out. Now, you mentioned Tank Bigsby. Quick, physical, Brenton Strange, the other guy. He looks like he's going to be hard to defend.
Well, Strange has a little bit of Ingram and a little bit of Manhurts. He's not – to me, he's bigger than I thought he was when I saw him, when I was standing next to him. but he can run routes. I mean, he looks like he's capable of doing some stuff that Ingram does. And he's, from what I saw of him, we talked about it, I called him a willing blocker, but really that wasn't really what I meant. What I meant was he was a solid blocker. He's not a great blocker. He's a good blocker. So that combination really goes well, especially if Farrell can pick up some of the run block stuff, as being the inline guy. I think when you've got two tight ends in the game that can assume slot abilities, that's a plus, because now you have to bring in that sixth DB. Yeah. If they have to bring somebody in to handle somebody, that's an issue.
And speaking of offense, you teased for us, Coach Campo. You got to speak with a couple of the members of the coaching staff on Friday as well.
Yeah. Well, I had an interesting conversation with Press Taylor, and during the conversation, I said, what in your mind, what kind of progress is Trevor going to make? From from first year to second year to third year. And he said, Coach, he is so comfortable with everything we're doing now, and so calm about everything. He says, this is no longer about scheme. This is about Trevor. And that was interesting to me, to say everything they do is going to be based on Trevor. And that's a real plus. If you got a quarterback that's in that position and he feels so comfortable with the scheme that now he can really be himself with what he does, that's great. And I thought that was very interesting.
That should fire all of Duval up right there.
I'm sitting here thinking about what graphic we should be making about that
should
for
fire
the
up
1010XL social channels. Coach Campo, I know we're cutting our time a little short, so we could circle back to the ACC meetings up in Amelia Island, but Campo and Joe podcast.
Yeah. We're going to fire it up in a little bit, and you'll expand that conversation a little bit as far as what that means in your mind.
Right,
because
exactly.
Turning loose a guy.
Right.
And it's almost like a guy comes to the coach and says, what about this?
Absolutely. That's what it is. It's what he feels comfortable with, and that he shows that he can handle everything. Yeah. And now it's you start piecing things together for the guy rather than trying to get that scheme in there. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited to hear up at the ACC, because when there's a fist fight going on, that's my kind of meeting.
Well, I will say this: Richard, who's going to join us here in a second, did tweet, and this I don't think he said in jest, that he did see Jim Phillips last night rushing to dinner out of his meeting.
He had fun with that.
So maybe we'll expand upon that. Coach Campo, thanks as always for stopping by. Looking forward to
guys.
Campo and Joe wherever you get your 1010XL podcast, and of course on our 1010XL YouTube channel as well. The favorite son of Gainesville, one Richard Johnson of Sports Illustrated, joins us next right here on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
The fire which burns inside them. It's essential to understand that battles are won primarily in the hearts of men. And once you have won their hearts, they'll follow you anywhere.
1010XL.
Sportsmen, shooting enthusiasts, and public safety professionals. For over 50 years, we have been your #1 stop best prices on apparel, holsters, flashlights, and more. Look no further than GT Distributors. Celebrate GT Day's sales event with the best prices on everything you need to gear up. This is going to be bigger than ever, and it's happening only at GT Distributors, Friday and Saturday, May 19th and 20th. 2 days only, and you'll save 20% off select brands. That's 20% off top brands like Gerber, Safariland, and Magpul. Come meet factory reps, hourly door prices, and a firearm giveaway on both days. Don't miss this huge store-wide event. GT Days, May 19th and 20th at GT Distributors, 2285 Kingsley Avenue, Suite A2 in Orange Park. Showroom hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, visit gtdist.com. Restrictions apply. Sale excludes guns, ammo, optics, Surefire, Wellen.
Divorce, menonly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pickup basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at barryorthopedics.com.
It's golf majors time again, folks. The PGA Championship is back. And again, we have the PGA heroes versus those live villains. So get your golf bets in now at MyBookie. Mia here, and if you haven't signed up, you need to sign up. This is going to be must-see TV, and you can bet long odds for big golf sweats and even bigger cash. The real fun, of course, though, comes with live betting. You can live bet golf every day, Thursday through Sunday. I'm telling you, if you haven't signed up for it yet, make sure you sign up for MyBookie for the PGA Championship at Oak Hill. Take advantage of their crazy boosted odds. Getting started is simple. Sign up today at MyBookie and use promo code 1010XL to secure yourself a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. It's simple. Deposit $200 and play with $300 instantly. Just use promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus. Betting with MyBookie at the PGA Championship anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 16, 1985, Michael Jordan is named NBA Rookie of the Year, averaging 28.2 points, earning his first of 14 All-Star appearances.
Now is the perfect time to make sure your home is protected from storms by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. Get $500 off a full roof replacement and $250 off roof repairs. Plus, same as cash financing for 12 months. This offer expires May 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 123-0147, CBC 125-8484.
Bueller. Look, folks, I've been hearing it my whole life. But the truth is, there's never been a better time to stay cooler with Bueller. Right now, we can send a qualified Bueller technician to perform a thorough tune-up and cleaning of your AC system for just $119. We'll even include up to 1 pound of refrigerant to balance your system for peak cooling performance this summer. Now that's staying cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
ITB Partners, the official financial firm for the station to beat inflation.
Whoa, Dan. People don't want to joke about their money, not during these tough times.
You mean they'd rather hear about how ITB Partners takes our money and makes us more money?
Now you're talking. They make financial planning simple and easy to understand, even for a couple of slappies like us.
Those guys have been serving Hickets for 3 generations. Junie Bug, me. I even got my son Juju being smart with his money in his 20s.
It's never too early to talk with Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Brian Wright, Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, and Craig Ross.
Financial questions, ideas, or thoughts? Email chris@itbpartners.com.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Hey gang, Prosser here. You know I love trivia, so let me start you with a trivia question. Did you know that only 2% of U.S. beef is graded prime? ABBQ is the only Northeast barbecue restaurant that uses only prime brisket and slow smokes using only wood. Our slow-cooked prime brisket, cooked using only wood, produces the most succulent and mouth-watering brisket you can ever taste. Come and experience the prime brisket at ABBQ. Visit it today. Satisfy your cravings for the best barbecue in town. ABBQ. Meet and drink with us.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Live from the Ritz-Carlton in Amelia Island, our coverage of ACC meetings continues with our good friend from Sports Illustrated, Richard Johnson, Gainesville's native son, back home in the Sunshine State. Richard, how are you? And I have to ask, your tweet about Jim Phillips hurrying out of the meeting last night, was that said in jest, or much like the now viral tweet about a fight going on at the bar last night, or did you actually see Jim Phillips hurriedly leaving the meeting last night?
No, I will say they did pretty hurriedly leave the meeting. That is true. Whatever parody Twitter account was tweeting about some fight between ADs last night, that did not occur. But I will say they were very hurriedly leaving the AD meeting last night. Who can say, Mia? It just sounds like they were really excited to get to dinner.
Yeah, that was the line you put on there on social media. You can follow Richard Johnson on social media. Thinking Out Loud, stardom for sure. Really, really enjoy that. But you are kind of on ACC duty right now. So, you come at it from an SEC head. What do you think of what the ACC is doing inside, Richard? They're trying to fracture the conference. At least that's what it looks like.
Well, I think it boils down to this. You've got a bunch of teams that, and much like many other conferences, you've got a bunch of teams that have a group of teams that have one priority, and that's football, pretty much above all else. And then you've got a bunch of other schools that have different priorities. In the ACC, obviously, you've got a very legitimate basketball quadrant, and then you've got another 3 or 4 who prize academics above all else. So look, you've just got a wide swath of schools and priorities. I think Florida State and Clemson, it's saber rattling at the end of the day, because if you tweak, a revenue model to be a more merit-based revenue model, and you've got, let's say $30 million a year, which is roughly thereabouts the number, you're still going to be $25 million off what an SEC school is going to pull. Like you're not making up that cap. It doesn't matter. You may be able to get 5 or 10 in a good year if you tweak this model to something more merit-based, but you are not getting, as an ACC team, you're not getting $60-70 million per year. That is not going to happen.
It's not only that, Richard, and there are many estimates out there that not only the SEC but the Big Ten as well will be, in 3 or 4 years, will be at least 80, if not 90 million per team. So they're way behind what you're saying. So my thing is I think that saber rattling is part of eventually trying to get out of this granted rights, which is going to be highly difficult. But if they did, there's still no guarantee that there's going to be a spot for them. There's still no guarantee that of the Big Ten and the SEC, how many of those guys will actually get a place. That's the issue right now as well, right?
Yeah, I think if you go to the Pac-12, people say, Washington and Oregon, are they going to leave even if the Pac-12 rights deal comes in at a number that is, woefully under what we're expecting? I don't think that it will, but let's say. They still have to, like you said, they still have to have somewhere to go. and it, as far as the Big Ten is concerned, it is not apparent that the Big Ten's presidents who make these decisions are in a spot right now to be additive. That was part of the friction between those presidents and Kevin Warren after they added USC, UCLA. So I think you've got a similar deal here. Like you have to. It is another league additive. That is the other piece. That is the other side of the coin. That's the other thing you have to factor in, and that has to happen. You can't just leave and not have a home.
So let's kind of get a lay of the land of what it's looking like right now at the Ritz-Carlton, Richard. We know that not all of the athletic directors of both the Magnificent Seven and the ACC are even present up in Amelia Island right now. So, a lot of activity. Does it seem like a lot of more football coaches are there, basketball coaches? What's the vibe you kind of get in terms of who is involved in these meetings?
Yeah, so we've got all the football coaches are here, men's and women's basketball coaches are here, at least most of them. Dabo Swinney is currently in Africa right now. He had a vacation booked with his family. It sounds like that was unable to be moved, and they got the dates of the ACC meetings a little late, so he is jet-setting off. A couple other coaches aren't here. Louisville's athletic director isn't here. They had a memorial service for Denny Crum last night, who recently passed away. So there are a few who are not here, but yeah, for the most part, everybody's here. We're in the kind of, if you're familiar with the Ritz, we're kind of on the right wing of the Ritz here, and they've got a bunch of conference rooms booked up, and we're just kind of lobby lurking. And, you know, during breaks, they kind of come in and mingle and, you know, have lunch out here on the outdoor patio here. That's really nice. But, yeah, I'm holding it down here at the Ritz.
Love it. And, you know, we were there last year, and so we didn't realize it was going to be barroom brawls this year, or we would have been back up there. But we're talking with Richard Johnson. You can definitely find out all the coverage from up there with his SI coverage. And, of course, on the SEC side, thinking out loud, want to throw at least one SEC question at you before we're done, especially since you wrote on the Mary Curry piece from last week. But at the end, at least in the circle that you are in, people that cover the sport passionately, is it a sensible and possible thought that you could see a breakup of the ACC with this group, you know, leading the way within, say, a year?
No, I just don't see that happening. I mean, I think it's something where it's May stuff we're talking about, and you know, in May we talk about this kind of stuff and we postulate and we go on the board. But look, even if I'm Florida State and I say I think my lawyers think we can get out of this grant of rights, see ya. If I'm Wake Forest, I'm suing you 6 times from Tuesday, and you aren't going anywhere until first of all. And that's the thing. It's not just, you know, a fee that you would have to pay to get out of the grant of rights, which is in itself probably prohibitive. But put that to the side. It's also a long, protracted legal battle, in my opinion. Because, like I said, if I'm Wake, if I'm BC, if I'm Pitt, I'm not letting you leave without a fight. You're out of your mind. So, yeah, it's not just the fee. It would be a pretty bloody legal battle that would go for, you know, Lord knows how long.
Richard, I almost think, you said saber rattling earlier, and I agree with that. I almost think it's like they're literally throwing chum in the water to try and get social media and everybody so crazy about it that they think something's going to flip. You know what I mean? Something somewhere will flip.
Yeah, remember, everybody's got a base, right? Michael Alford's got a base. Graham Neff's got a base. They are all speaking to their base, their donors, their trustees. They obviously have a duty and a fiduciary duty to say, hey, we're doing all we can for Florida State, for Clemson, for North Carolina, for whoever, to make the most revenue and look out for us. So, yeah, you know, a little saber rattling, a little that kind of stuff to make it look like, and I don't mean this disingenuously, but to make it look like you're doing something, to make it look like you're doing your job, which is to maximize revenue for your institution. I get it. It's the job, you know, it's fair. But, yeah, I mean, look, if the grant of rights was easy to break, don't you think someone would have done it by now?
Right. Absolutely. Also love when we can collaborate on things unintentionally, and I know we were able to do that last week with Mayor Curry's comments on this very program about the TIA Bankfield renovations, restoration, what is next for that stadium and the Georgia-Florida rivalry. So as we pivot a little bit, Richard, to the SEC, a conference that is going nowhere, but it seems like one of its marquee games could be on the move.
Well, first of all, Mia, Florida, Georgia, let's get that right.
Yes.
Let's get that square.
Yes. Well, for what it's worth, your employer tweeted it out. Georgia, Florida. I'm looking at the tweet right now. You need to have a word with them.
I do. I will be sending a strongly worded letter to our social team at SI.
Yeah. George is running it right now, though, Richard. You got to admit that.
But, yeah, look, I think that, who knows what the Jags are going to do with the stadium situation. I think it's pretty apparent that the current mayor of the city of Jacksonville, at least up until, when was your runoff? Today. Whatever.
Today.
You know, it sounds like he was potentially speaking out of school a little bit. As I understand, and I'm sure as you understand it, the Jags were not exactly thrilled at what Mr. Curry said on your air. But look, it's wild to me. First of all, it's wild to me as a Jags fan that, you know, you may have 2 peak years of Trevor Lawrence and you're barnstorming with some collaboration of Orlando and Gainesville and maybe London. You know, who knows what's going to happen with where they go. I think that the best case scenario is they do something like the Dolphins did, where they play in the stadium and do the renovations during the offseason. But hey, that's a lot of money. In you know, building materials right now, the price of those doesn't mean it's going to be the same price in 2 or 3 years. You know, there's a lot of costs that have to come in to a long build process. So yeah, do it in 2 years. It's probably the easiest way to do it, you would think. I think that, you know, maybe Gainesville's a spot for the Jags. it's not ideal. You've got a team that plays there on Saturdays, obviously. Maybe it's Orlando. Who knows? But I think Florida-Georgia, as far as that's concerned, I think Florida-Georgia will be staying in Jacksonville for the long term. I know that they may have to play in each other's campus stadium just like they did over the 90s when they renovate TIAA Bank Field. But the amount of money that Florida and Georgia make, it just makes too much sense, and it's hard to forego that revenue to go to only earning it once every 2 years, right? If you combine the revenue that you make in 2 years in Jax, it's more than you would make in 2 years of just having one home game against the other. So I just think it's a money thing, first and foremost. And I know that Kirby does his own little saber rattling about recruiting and not liking to have the recruiting weekend and all that kind of stuff. But no, I think that game's staying in Jacksonville for a long term. So,
Richard, you're down there in Gainesville. You know what's going on. Billy Napier allegedly interviewed 24 quarterbacks, came up with Graham Mertz.
Allegedly.
Came up with Graham Mertz, Richard.
Sorry to do your Florida alumni status
so
like that.
I, as an alum, does it make you sick, number one? And number two, like, where do you see this headed right now for Florida? It's not a good look.
Well, I think you see it headed with Florida running the heck out of the ball this year. I get it. It's hard when you have to go in the portal to find a quarterback and you whiff on guys. I think that portal success stories obviously happen. They are not the norm. A lot of guys transfer. A lot of guys find homes, and a lot of guys realize why they left their original school. Remember, you're leaving your original school for a reason. As far as Graham Mertz, what Graham Mertz is going to be at Florida, I think, like I said, I think you're going to see them do like a Wisconsin South or at least something near it. I think they're really going to lean on a run game. Anthony Richardson was a lot of things last year. We all know that. We all watched him. But I think it is really, really not stated enough how, in my opinion, lacking that receiver core was for Florida. And I don't think that's a thing that has changed overnight as well, and that plays a part in the quarterback situation. But look, and I know Florida fans don't want to hear this, and I know every Florida fan listening to this right now is going to roll their eyes when I say it. But this is a longer-term build than people want to realize and people want to feel. I know it's the University of Florida. I know you're supposed to be able to flip the lights on and compete for national championships. That's just not where they're at right now. It's just not where they were when they got rid of Dan Mullen. It takes time, and it's taking time, and that's frustrating, and I understand that, but that's the reality of the situation.
Hey, listen, man, great stuff. Hopefully we will catch up as we get closer to the season, see how it goes, but we'll tell everybody, just check it out as far as the ACC news is concerned. Richard at RJ_writes. Great stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Hopefully they make some news for me today.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hopping on.
All right.
That's at RJ_writes. He's in Amelia Island until tomorrow, so you can follow him for the latest, if indeed Clemson, Florida State, the Magnificent Seven are to secede from the ACC. And, sorry, Florida fans, you may not like it, but embrace it. Ditto to you, ACC fans.
I'm just telling you, all they're gonna do is run. Let's run and get ready for the Frangie Show.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. No, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I don't like your style, your politics, or your sense of humor.
Mornings.
I don't like what you say or how you say it.
I think you're bluffing. On 1010XL.
Beach towel? Check. Beach chair? Check. Sunscreen sunglasses? Check and check. But before I head out to the beautiful beaches of Jacksonville, I need one more thing. Summer, and I'm in luck because the Summer Starts Here sales event is going on now at Arlington Toyota. Mia here. Are you ready to map out your summer? It all starts at Arlington, where you'll get hot deals on even hotter Toyotas during the Summer Starts Here sales event. Even better, Arlington has over 300 new Toyotas available. And with every new purchase at Arlington, you get their lifetime warranty. That's unlimited time and miles. So wherever the road takes you this summer, the beach, the mountains, camping under the stars, summer starts here at Arlington Toyota. I think this is going to be your best summer yet. But don't wait. When the sun sets on this sale, it is gone for good. So get to Arlington Toyota and start your summer the best way with the Summer Starts Here sales event. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
All Weather Contractors is a full-service multifamily and commercial construction company focused on building better careers. We are looking for experienced plumbing professionals to join our team now. Are you ready to make a fantastic living? Apply today at allweathercontractors.com. We offer premium pay, bonuses, full benefits, 401k programs, employee stock ownership opportunities, and a culture focused on career advancements and opportunities. Apply online today at allweathercontractors.com.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org.
Apply by May 18th.
Cataracts can take a toll on the quality of a loved one's life. Maybe it's even your parents or someone close to you. Hey, Hicken here. I've been talking to you about Bowden Eye. And it turns out renowned cataract care is right here at Bowden Eye & Associates. Their doctors help those with cataracts feel hopeful, sometimes for the first time in a long time. If someone you love is suffering from cataracts, schedule a visit for a personal consultation. 3 locations to serve you, including the new office on County Road 210 in St. Johns County.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
We take pride in doing quality work at a fair price, and you can finance your new roof for as low as $139 per month. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Call 904-337-0509.
License number CCC 1331951.
Every great season starts in the off-season.
That's the one. When we talk about building dynasties,
every time your team makes a move, we'll be there to break it down. Hit the ground running with Tire Outlet and 1010XL. Wholesale prices, premium service.
This Saturday, Navy Mutual would like to salute all men and women that serve in our armed forces. In 1949, President Truman designated the third Saturday in May as Armed Forces Day due to the unification of all 5 branches of our military into the Department of Defense.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
Run to the Jacksonville Sharks Jungle Night game as they fight against the Albany Empire this Saturday, May 20th, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you can't find this kind of affordable fun anywhere else. Boy and Girl Scouts purchase tickets, enjoy a post-game autograph session. Educators Appreciation Night, buy 1 ticket, get 1 free. Shark Tank this Saturday, May 20th, 7 o'clock, VyStar Memorial Arena. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. All education, BOGO ticket. Fins up.
It's time to get on the tee with me, Joe C. The XL Primetime Spring League is back, and you need to be part of it. Southampton invites you to join us every Wednesday now through early May for our 9 after 5. As soon as you knock off work, you can head to Southampton for a great game every week. Chef Gary cooking up something good for afterwards and prizes. Call 287-PLAY and get in the game every Wednesday. It's our 9 after 5 at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY now.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hey, remember this?
It's up. Missed it to the right. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Time now for a Modelo moment. Make your next moment with a Modelo.
The NBA Rookie of the Year. This season saw a number of brilliant rookies enter the NBA. But one player in particular captured the imagination and attention of fans throughout the country. His high-flying acrobatics and infectious enthusiasm helped lead his team into the playoffs for the first time in 4 years.
On behalf of Miller Brewing Association, I'm very happy to receive the award, although, the team and other rookies in the league just the same won the award as I have. I think my year was very, very experimental for me. I'm very happy that I achieved so much, and hopefully next year will be more promising. If not, then maybe I'll retire after 2 years. Thanks a lot, very much.
1985, we're going all the way back, and as JJ pulled that great Modelo moment with the great MJ, he tried to describe this as the second best player to have played the game. Not correct, but still, you will love hearing that back in 1985. I know a guy watched a movie over the weekend, and he had a lot to say about that guy, so let's say hello to him coming up.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping the rubber on the road with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Frank Frangie joins us now. I don't know how much of that you could hear.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, but, MJ, just...
you about Air, the movie Air?
Yeah, well... This was 1985, the Modelo moment. Just talking about, he was joking about maybe
he won Rookie of the Year in this state.
Won Rookie of the Year, so maybe I'll retire after 2 years.
Yeah.
They didn't get to where he wanted to go. Obviously, they had.
Have y'all seen Air?
I have not seen
yet.
it.
I need to.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
No. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see it. I just I might even go. I don't know. Is it still rolling through movie theaters?
No, it's on HBO Max now. My grandparents.
I heard you raving about it.
I heard it was
really good. It's really good.
I heard it was good in the theater. That's why I was curious if it's still rolling around.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It's Damon's fantastic. I don't want to give it away for people, but I mean, the writing is fantastic. The story's true.
Well, I have to watch Magnificent Seven first.
Right.
2016 one, since we had the story today with the ACC and the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
And then I'm probably going to go to Air.
Hang on, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay. Okay. But first, do you guys, with the conference finals here, how locked in will you be? Will you watch?
Oh, I love it.
Are you locked in?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like locked in?
As the text line reminded us today, we talk more NBA than any other show on the Superstation.
Yeah.
So.
We probably talk less than any other show. But you guys will lock in?
Oh, yeah, because honestly, like if you're talking about, like just as one example that I'm watching, the Nuggets give up basically like one of the third highest point percentages in the paint. And so Anthony Davis should have a good series here. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Denver, the favorite, obviously they should be, but I'm rooting on my
What about you? Will you watch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Celtics Heat will be
very
good.
I'm not an NBA guy. None of us are, so we will talk less about it. But I'm not, because number one, all four have a great player.
Yeah.
And all four kind of build around the great player. But they're all different generations.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be kind of cool to watch. I think.
And Jason Tatum, humbly, he said he is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And he did He did come alive the last game and a quarter. So.
He is. Butler is.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic's probably the best player playing right now. He and Giannis, and LeBron's LeBron. So we'll
Don't
watch
forget about the Uni-Al.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I got a tweet that told me someone on the show, wouldn't say names, suggested that if FSU was recruited by the SEC, Florida would go to the Big Ten. Did that happen on your program?
I heard somebody.
Did it happen?
All I'm telling you is if Florida is adamant about being the only team in the state of Florida.
Okay. What's the matter with you?
Okay.
What's the matter with you?
I'm telling you that if and I don't think the SEC
go buy
would
your
do
Big
it.
Ten gear right now.
I don't think the SEC is going to go against Florida. That's number one. But number two, if they were to say we're going to add Florida State or we're going to add Miami, then Florida would say, all right, fine. You're going against us. We'll go to the Big Ten.
You're going to go against the family?
No, but the point is they're going to make the same money there.
Oh, yeah.
You've lost your mind.
And
it's a great radio topic, but you've lost your mind.
They're aligned academically with the Big Ten. 100% they are.
I love it.
You've totally lost your mind. But
I haven't. I'm telling you right now, I haven't.
You've totally lost your mind.
I've actually spoken to people in Gainesville about it.
Well, the reality is it's the SEC decides. It's the presidents that decide.
Correct.
And so can the new Florida president gain favor with the other presidents, because that's how you decide. But there's not a chance Florida would leave the SEC.
First off, I don't think there's a chance they'd go against Florida.
I don't either. But yeah, if the SEC starts pursuing teams, I will say this: if they go beyond Texas and Oklahoma,
it's North Carolina and Duke is what it is.
Well, that's what the Big Ten would want.
Right.
I don't know that that's what the SEC would want. So, but anyway, do you guys work with them every day?
Yeah, I love stoking the fire.
Okay.
So
I'm not stoking the fire. I've actually talked to people about it. I'm not literally stoking a fire.
What is closer to reality?
I'm not like FSU out there throwing crap around just to try and get something to stick.
Because I'm trying to defend the guys that are carrying the water for the ACC.
I think.
But is it possible that the ACC could?
I think, first of all, the Big Ten, I'm serious about this, their main target.
It's Miami.
Their main target is Georgia Tech.
That's not. Which Miami, believe it or not.
I don't think so. I think it's Georgia Tech.
It'll never make sense for Georgia Tech. Never, ever.
It's not. I know you're thinking Atlanta and getting in the South.
A great school.
It's Miami. It's South Florida and Miami. It's
for the Big Ten.
That's what it is.
As bad as that
more connected than I am, but I've never heard that.
As bad as that football is down there, it's still a good academic.
It's everything. It's
a great
academic. It's everything.
It's a very good academic school. So
it's also like
South Florida.
I just want to know if Matt's okay.
We break news on this show, Frank. Florida to the Big 12.
Yeah, and I didn't know.
Or Big 10, whatever.
Listen, I'm not all that opposed to drinking at work.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if Matt had been doing it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure of this.
Day drinkers.
But anyway, we'll talk NBA. We'll talk a little bit about that. Some more stadium talk coming up in just a bit.
You know, Taylor did walk in here today and say it smelled like whiskey. So
all I'm saying is you guys are out of your mind if you think like the SEC tries to pull a power play.
Oh yeah.
And put another team in the state that Florida won't go. Then we're out.
And Sankey. He is very aware.
They will not do that.
Very well aware of who's in his room. He is.
Of course he is.
Yep. All right. We'll keep following that. You can follow Matt on social media to keep an eye on that because it is definitely brewing up there at Amelia Island. Thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. Great sponsors. We thank them for our Tuesday show. We are out. Mia O'Brien, Maddie Hayes, Big Search, JJ, and Josie.